It's on me. I was taking a nice strong nap. Yeah, so we are playing Curse of Strahd. This time I remember to check my mic first, so I won't be muted for the first hour. So that's good.
Like a dummy,
Well,
Zoe just muted herself.
last time I was muted on the stream, not in person, so you guys could hear me, but no one else could.
I just muted myself because Kira's being a dick.
It's fine, Zoe. Um, yeah, so session 3. Uh, so last time I said it, but I got mixed. Obviously, Curse of Strahd owned by Wizards. Some of the art's going to be owned by them as well. Our tokens are made through using the Revo app. I think that just entered open beta as well, which is kind of nice. So if you decide you want to use pixel tokens, I think you can actually do that now, which is cool. Awesome. I will hand it over to Ryan.
Alright, so last we left off, you guys were just entering the town of Valaki. You guys traveled there from Barovia. And that's pretty much where we left off. You guys managed to convince the guards to let you in.
That's right, they would be kind of stingy about it, weren't they?
Good.
With our extraordinarily nonchalant bear traps.
Yes, with your with your extraordinary bear traps. Ah, there we go. I've been looking for my book for a while.
Bear traps, the ultimate way of saying no housekeeping, please.
Alright, you traveled there with Irina and her brother, Ismark. And they asked you here to bring... Sorry, they asked you to bring them here to keep Irina safe. Because they fear that Strahd will come for her tonight. It is the middle of the night right now.
And we've been traveling all day, correct?
You've been traveling all day. And you've just entered the walled city of Valaki. It's got like wooden log poles pounded into the ground.
Old-fashioned fort.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will send Edgar and Nevermore to go find us an inn.
Alright, yeah. They take off into the air.
Flap, 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 flap.
Looking... This was the time of day where our friends here didn't want to go visit the mayor, correct? They want to do that in the morning?
Yeah.
That's correct, yeah.
Guess I just try to find a hotel and...
I don't think we should sleep for the night. I think we have to stay up and watch over these two.
I would at least like a bed to sit on.
We can always take turns. So
I mean, at the very least, we'll have to do that.
Edgar can stay up all night. He doesn't require sleep.
That helps a little bit.
So, let's have... I assume you're echoing a bit, Gavin.
Okay.
I would assume that we should get Edgar to stay on the windowsill, like watching outside and inside, and potentially taking rounds in front of the door.
Edgar can keep a good perimeter.
Yeah, there's definitely no harm in using the bird. Whether or not he's going to be perfect solution, be all end all, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
But at least for now,
we
that's
should
a
probably
decent
have
start.
at least like maybe us take turns. keeping up, well, staying up.
I'm sleeping. I need a bed.
I can watch. I mean, I'll
I-
go over while I'm watching, but I can watch.
Why are you so quiet? Oh, I turned you down aggressively last time we played.
I'm also upstairs. I brought
No,
my.
I literally had you turned down to 25%.
Oh. Okay.
Um, I could use some sleep as well so I can restore my spells.
I just want to sleep. It's late.
Yeah, but I mean, we do have a
Yeah.
mission after all.
Yeah, take turns.
And my bird can wake me up. It's fine.
I'm planning on taking turns at the very least here. But we can find a place that let's try and find like a place to do like a well fortified option. Ryan, is there any particularly good looking caverns or stuff like that we can where we have to guard from every angle type thing?
Sorry, I'm busy. My dog is freaking out.
Is what it is. But yeah, no, maybe
Well,
one like against city walls or something with like less than 4 entries.
All right, so you guys are entering into town just now. You see that the tall gates are all made of wood. The guards have just swung them open, and you can see beyond is the village of Valaki. You can see buildings on either side of a main road that seems to wind its way through the town. Your ravens are off ahead, and they see much of the similar things. This is a larger city than Barovia.
How long would it take to walk from one side to the other side?
About 15 minutes.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna look over at Vivi. You can talk through your birds, correct?
Yes.
Can you leave one of them with me? I'd like to get this place's like bearings kind of marked down. Just give me a shout once you've found an inn for us to stay in.
Okay, I'm going to call one of them back, but I don't know which one yet. So one of them goes with
And essentially, I'm going to make a rudimentary map of the streets and just sort of marking down more noteworthy buildings. So if there's a chapel kind of looking building, I want to mark that down. Trade-ish area, stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. So, as you're walking through, kind of the first area you seem to walk by, besides the houses off to either side of the road, is let's see. There's this large stockyard that has several locked sheds along its periphery and lies adjacent to a roomy warehouse. A wooden sign above the front gate reads Arasek Stockyard. Parked at the south end of the stockyard is a sturdy carnival wagon. Its colorful paint is peeling off. Faded lettering on the side spell out the words Rictavio's Carnival of Wonders. There's a heavy padlock securing the door.
Neat.
And you can see that around the stockyard is a number of general stores and sheds that can be rented.
Alrighty.
There's not too many people on the streets currently, considering the time of night it is. Most people have gone to sleep. One thing you kind of notice about Valaki in general is there's streamers running along the street, and they seem to be dangling something in the air above the road.
I'll take a closer look
you
at
have
that.
Nevermore, by the way.
Already. I'll take a look at the streamer.
Yeah, it's like a string of garlands moving across the street, kind of in triangles, and it's dangling down wolf ears.
Interesting. Knowledge, arcana, or history to know of any potential myths or like good luck charms, like why wolf ears in particular would be hung.
Yeah, you can make a arcana check, because you wouldn't know really too much about the history of this place, considering.
Yeah. No,
You said
I got 11.
there was a carnival chart, right? Cart.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
Does that count slightly as like circusy stuff? Because I have a friend. That was the girl that. Well, that was the first person I met was from a circus. Would
It would seem
kinda
kind of
hit well?
circusy. Yeah. Yeah, it would
Okay.
hit you. That like this would be the kind of wagon that someone who owned a stall at a carnival might have.
Oh, okay. Cool. She starts daydreaming, reminiscing.
So with that, you don't know of any incantations or spells or good luck rituals that might use a wolf ear.
That's fair. I'll at least note it down, being like, that's interesting. Maybe I'll ask someone.
And as you guys continue on, because you've taken note of that, you do notice that on spikes throughout the town, lining the streets, are wolves' heads every once in a while as well.
What a weird ritual.
I don't know of any magic that particularly pertains to this type of stuff. Maybe it's more of like a regional charm or something to ward away?
I
Or
mean,
maybe
last
they're
we
the
left-
heads of werewolves.
Do they seem like
Maybe they're-
lycanthropes, or are they like the werewolf, like the wolves that attacked us?
You know with your background that werewolves revert when they're killed.
Fair enough.
Okay.
These don't seem to be werewolves. Werewolves would have human heads when they're back into, well, when they're dead. I believe these are just wolves. Maybe some sort of ward or warning to the other wolves in the area. You'll feel no sympathy from me.
Though that does pose a question. Why is it on the inside of the gated walls instead of the outside for them? I'm very curious. Maybe we should ask someone at some point.
Yeah, once we find a place to rest for the night. Maybe tomorrow we'll inquire further.
And continuing farther into the city, you start to see that on some of the richer houses, there are wolves' tails hanged in some of the windowsills.
It's kind of a gross theming.
Maybe it's a good luck charm.
Feels like they're trying to ward off.
They all look, each of them looks like they've rotted a bit, like they've been there for a
Are there
they're
flies
not like
and shit?
freshly put up.
Gross.
Sorry, I missed what you said.
Are there flies?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh. Gross. That's disgusting. Hey.
Back-
It would be around this point that one of your ravens finds what looks to be a inn down the road, in the middle of town.
Follow me, guys.
It comes back to you. I don't know how it would communicate with you.
It'd be
It would just come back
Edgar.
and
So,
walk at you, eh?
It
I
could
can
share
go
his
tell how
vision.
the commands. I can share its vision, basically.
Okay, but you weren't doing that, or you were?
Probably not.
No.
But
Okay.
let's
Yeah. So it
see.
would just come back and squawk at you that it had found in it.
Okay. Then I will turn. Yeah, Edgar will come back, squawk, and be like, "Follow the bird."
This is probably where I'd wander off just to go do my own drawing while everyone goes to the inn.
You'll have Nevermore. Tap her, and she'll be able to tell me to come.
So you're just gonna wend your way through the streets alone?
That seems
And
safe.
I'll go
if
with.
I was gonna say, if anyone else wants to come with me,
Yeah,
sure,
Me and Petra will scout out a bit.
sure. An extra set of eyes is always nice. I tend to get a little lost in my arts.
Alright. We'll come back to you later then. So, as you get to the middle of the town, for the most part, up until now, it's just been more buildings on the street. Then you come to the middle of town, and in the middle of town, there is this large building, larger than the rest of them. It's got two outlying sheds, and what looks like a stable off to the sides for any horses that any customers might have. And on the front of this sign is the sign that says Blue Water Inn. You can see gray smoke issues from the chimney of this large two-story wooden building. It has a stone foundation, a bit of a sagging roof, but up on the top are several ravens perched there, and they watch you as you come up the street. The sign that says Blue Water Inn has a depiction of a waterfall on it.
Do any of these ravens look like Raven Queen ravens?
Raven Queen ravens are indistinguishable from regular raven.
Yeah, they are.
The
But
answer is yes
you would
and
probably take it as a good omen.
Hell yeah. I like this inn, guys. We're definitely staying here.
How does this look from a safety standpoint? You said it's in the center of town?
It's in the center of town.
Are the walls thick? Do they look sturdy?
It's made of wood.
Hmm.
The roof is sagging,
That
but
does
it
look-
looks a little nicer than most of the buildings around.
I like how sagging is considered nicer.
Yeah, well, some have holes in them. Some are leaking.
Well, at least this one still has a roof, so I guess this
Some
is what
have
we've got to
corded
choose.
windows.
Jesus. Yeah, I mean, sagging roof is better than no roof, right? Yeah, I'm gonna go towards the end. I'm gonna go inside.
All right, yeah, you walk inside.
Yeah.
Inside, you can see a large main chamber. You can see there's 4 main tables in this drinking area, and then 3 side tables off for anyone who wants to drink alone. You can see a main bar counter as well that's right up, and sitting at the counter is a large man with a bit darker skin, black hair, with gray streaks in his beard and hair. He's wearing red clothing, padded on the shoulders, with blue highlights.
I'm glad it's his clothing that's blue, not his hair.
No, his hair is black and white.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm gonna leave Edgar outside so he can hang out with his raven buddy.
Yeah, so you can see damp cloaks kind of hang from pegs of the entrance. There's an overhanging balcony up above the bar area that seems to lead to rooms up top. All the windows are fitted with thick shutters and crossbars, and you can see lanterns kind of hang above the bars, resting on tables, in windowsills, casting shadows on some of the walls here. Most of which are adorned with wolf heads mounted on plaques.
I'm gonna go ask whoever.
You can also see in a corner what look like 2 men drinking together.
Oh, okay.
And every once in a while, not all the time, you see a woman with also black and white hair, kind of passing between the tables, going over to these 2 men, picking up their empty glasses and handing new ones. She's wearing a green dress with blue highlights.
I'm gonna ask the man. What's with all the wolf parts?
Which man?
The man, the one with
The one at the counter?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks you up and down and says, "Do you mean in my bar or around town?"
Both.
My
Definitely
bar
both.
is just ornamentation.
And the rest of town?
Rest of town is from last week's festival. The Festival of the Wolf Head.
That's a very peculiar
Strange thing to
festival.
celebrate, but I'm down.
You do not seem like you are from here. Can I offer you a room?
Please and thank you.
So about that, human. I have no money.
Well, that might be a problem then.
How much is
I'm
your room
gonna turn
usually?
to the two who we were escorting and be like, "Can you pay for a room?"
Well, let's find out how much your room is first.
He says 10 silver a night.
And is that on a per person basis, or?
If you share a room, it will only be 10 silver.
Okay, well.
I
think we'll-
do only have one room available at the moment.
Okay. I can pay. I have no issue.
The other one is currently purchased.
Only 2 rooms in the tavern?
We do not get many travelers.
I can't imagine you would, with this whole area being sort of separated. Not a lot of people from outsiders.
No, not a lot of outsiders.
And I'll take the 10 silver out and I'll hand it to him.
He swipes it up and says, "Here is your key," and he hands you a small brass key. He says, "Your room will be just up the stairs."
Thank you. Reminder, 1 gold is 10 silver? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I mean, I could offer up one of my knives. It's worth 2 gold.
It's fine, I paid for it already. We're okay.
Thank you, Victor.
I'm not that concerned.
Oh, I lied to you. There are more rooms. You can get a better room or a dorm type room.
So when you say dorm type, do you mean like multiple small rooms attached to one main room?
No, I mean like one main room with a bunch of beds in it.
Oh.
That one's probably preferred.
And how much is that one?
That one is only 50 copper.
Well, I think I already paid for the
5
other
silver.
rooms. How many people are able to sleep in the room that I paid for?
That one has 2 beds.
2 beds. And the dorm has what, 4?
We're gonna need the other
The
one.
dorm has 4, yeah.
We'll probably do both.
We're gonna need.
Okay, so I'll give him some copper as well for the dorm.
Okay.
Um,
He thanks you for that as well, and there's no key on this one.
You said 50 copper, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Which is 5 silver.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. That's okay with me.
There is a second better room, similar to the one you already purchased, but Ismark is going to buy that one for him and his sister.
Oh. I was buying their room as well, actually.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Well, there are 4 of you, and then plus 2 of them. Actually, there are
There's
5
5.
plus 2 of them.
There's 5 of us, but one of us is keeping
Yeah,
awake,
so you will need all
we're
the
taking
rooms.
shifts. We're taking shifts.
Yeah.
So 1 person awake at a time, 4 people in bed.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
We don't actually need it. I go to Bismarck. It's like, I have this. Save your money for our reward.
He says, oh, okay.
And,
I'm gonna go to the front door and call Edgar in, and then get him to go with the 2 of them into wherever they end up.
Mm-hmm. When
And
you
I'll-
go out to let Edgar in, you see that like a bunch of ravens are kind of watching him.
Is it like curiously watching him?
Yeah, curiously watching him.
Edgar is gonna like fly up to the ravens and like start like a raven hello.
Yeah, they're like flipping up his feathers and they're poking at him. They're just kind of investigating.
Okay. He's
They're
gonna let
like
them investigate.
not sure about this raven.
They can tell that he's magical. Yeah.
He smells off.
He'll let them investigate him until Vivi comes to the door, and then he'll fly in and perch on the sister's shoulder.
So to get to your rooms, you kind of have to go out around back, and then there's a staircase out back that leads up into the upper floor of this building, where all of the guest quarters are.
Interesting. That makes
Oof.
sense. We have to go out and around, sort of like a
Yeah.
motel.
And then it rejoins the rest of the building, and you kind of there's a balcony that you can see the main pub floor from.
So each of these rooms has a balcony that overlooks the bar itself. That's kind of cool design.
Mm-hmm. And then on the other side of the room looks like other bedrooms, but you think those might be the owner's bedrooms.
Ah.
How far are these balconies off the ground?
They're about 10 feet off the ground.
Okay.
It's a little larger than average room height.
So your birds can watch the outside, and we shall watch the other entrance, which would be the balcony?
I would prefer if my bird were to stay with them, just
No,
in
no.
case.
Because I assume you want to put one of your birds at each of the outside entrances. Right? Our room and their room.
I can leave Nevermore outside, though she does require some sleep, so she won't be able to stay up all night. Edgar, who can stay up all night, will be staying with her.
Nonetheless, I think we'll be okay. Yeah. I think we've got a shift worked out here.
Alright, so you guys all just gonna go up to your rooms, or are you going to hang out in the bar?
Well, there's those two gentlemen in
Vivi's
the corner,
going
correct?
right to bed.
Okay.
She's going to sleep.
Yeah, so you go up and around upstairs, and then you re-enter the tavern. You can see your allies down below. You continue along the walkway, and there's a door there. At the end of the hall, there's two doors on the left. You go to the end of the hall, you open it up, and you can see this 40-foot room with 4 beds lining it. There's a main table for 4 people to sit at, and 3 windows.
I go to the closest bed and I collapse on it.
Okay.
Big nap energy. Noelle is staying in the bar?
Zoe.
Zoe.
This is why you don't mute yourself.
Noelle is staying in the bar. Okay. If Noelle tries drinking, I'm going to try and stop her.
Why?
Because we're on duty. I'm not letting your character get
Nope.
drunk while in the middle of a work trip.
No, we can't hear Zoe.
Oh,
That's because
sorry.
Zoe's being a goofus.
Sorry, my thing was still on mute.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm in the bar.
Okay.
And I was gonna try drinking, but
Push to
apparently
talk
someone
is your
stopped me,
friend.
So
Yeah, so I imagine that the bar itself isn't too lively. Like you said, there's mostly just the 2 staff and those 2 in the corner.
Yeah. Upstairs on one of the balconies, you can see now there's a man walking down from the balcony that's not for the guests.
Oh,
He looks like he might be an elf. He's dressed in colorful clothes, and kind of walks down the stairs with a jaunty step and goes over to the bar table.
and that's
is he hot?
He's an old for an elf,
Okay.
but colorful
Maybe
clothes,
not.
looks friendly.
does he seem to be like the owner?
No, you wouldn't think so.
Okay. But he's in the section that aren't for customers. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I want to go talk to those.
You can also see up on the balcony, kind of looking down and crouching, but kind of peeking through some of the banister railing, are two children. And they
Oh.
see you, see them, and then they kind of run.
Aww. Hey Vic, there's two little kids up there. They're so cute.
How quaint. So who's taking first shift? I believe Vivi went to sleep already, so I guess she's out of the question.
All shifts, Edgar. All shifts, Edgar.
That's great for one of the rooms. What about the other? So, the other question I have here is, where is Shiver?
Out with Nevermore. Out with Never.
I'm also a Shiver, so.
Oh, so I'm just talking to Noelle at this point.
Yep.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
I'm gonna go talk to,
The elf guy?
no, I have no interest in him. I'm gonna go talk to the two in the corner.
Okay, yeah. So you walk over to them.
Can I go buy a
and
couple
they're-
of pints first?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How much are a couple of pints?
It's 2 copper. Well, let me check.
How many pints can 5 silver get me? I'll just use all of that.
I just have to double check on the.
I have like 10 gold if you need it.
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So you go back over to the barkeep, and he says, "We offer 3 drinks at this bar. The purple grape mash number 3,
Mm-hmm.
and red dragon crush.
Okay.
What's the third?
The third one we are currently out of, unfortunately. We haven't gotten a shipment in a while.
Oh.
Shame. How much are the two you do have?
For the red dragon crush is 1 silver piece for a pint, and the number 3 is 3 copper.
I'll grab 5 of the red silver crush.
Yeah, and he'll go to the back of the bar and twist open the stopper on some barrels, and you start to see a. You said the number 5 or the number 3?
The one that's a silver each.
3 silver each, yeah.
Oh, 3 each.
Yeah.
The red
3
dragon.
silver each.
Sorry, silver. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
5 of those.
1 silver is the red dragon crush, so you can see a dark red wine spill out into the cup.
Thanks. And I grab my 5 steins of beer, and head over to the table with the 2 guys.
Hey,
No
Vic.
beer, only wine.
Sorry, wine. My bad.
Vic,
Yes, Noelle?
what are you doing with the alcohol?
It's not for you. And
Oh.
I pop a squat and put a stein of wine in front of each of the gentlemen. How goes?
Yeah, you see the 2 men. They're interesting looking characters. Let's see if I have them here. Yeah, okay. So you see the 2 of them are sitting at the table together, dressed in kind of weary, worn road clothes. Each of them has a bow with them. You can see that it looks like one of them, his cloak is made entirely of patchwork wolf pelts. Like he's got tons of different wolf pelts stitched into this cloak.
Interesting.
Cloak. And they look up at you, neither of them looking very happy.
Well, I believe I know the answer to my question.
And the one with the beard says, and the one with the wolf cloak says,
Hi.
Noelle, I believe you may have too much energy for this moment.
Okay, I will. Here, that's what I'll do.
Jesus. And I offer them both one of the signs I put down next to them. Can I offer you guys a drink?
The one with the beard kind of rocks back in his chair a little bit and says, "Yeah, okay."
Here you go. I've handed him one. And what about you, Wolf Slayer?
He says, "Okay."
So, were you guys here for hunting the wolves, or?
The one with the beard says, "Yeah, I hunt the wolves."
Fun.
And then the one with the wolf cloak says, "Wolves, yeah."
Anything you can tell me about this?
Top tier conversational.
Yeah, they're great. I'm loving talking to them. Anything interesting about this holiday or celebration in town here?
It's made me a lot of money.
I bet.
And the other one says, "Money."
A man of few words, I can see.
Do you know where they sell any fancy cheeses in this town?
In the middle of the night? Probably nowhere.
Well, like tomorrow, obviously.
You just like blurt that out in the middle of the bar.
Yeah, I'm asking the guys.
You see the woman say, "1 second," and she goes into the back. And she comes back and she kind of punches the man at the bar on the arm a little bit and says, "You haven't even offered them food. That's your job."
Food.
And she passes a platter across the bar towards you
Oh my goodness, I love
and
you.
says,
Thank you.
"This one is on the house."
Bless your heart. Bless your heart and your stomach. Thank
What
you.
kind of food's on the platter?
You can see rolled up meats, some cheeses to go with the wine. There are some very plain looking crackers, loaves of bread, and a little bit of butter.
Of course, and they're not
Uh,
here, so they do
and
not know.
next-
Edgar's gonna fly over and grab an entire loaf of bread.
Yes, Raven swoops down, grabs some bread, flies back up. And
He's
it
gonna
looks
go
like
eat
there's
it, start eating it in corn.
a small candle next to the metal dish of butter.
Ooh.
So,
Okay, I'm gonna take some of the bread and I'm gonna put a little bit of it over the flame to toast it a little bit, and then I'm gonna put butter and cheese and whatever yummy foods there are and make a sandwich.
The woman kind of frowns a little bit, but doesn't say anything.
Oh, okay.
she's a strange one.
I'm a foodie.
That is not what a foodie would do.
Well, with you saying that, she'll say, "Well, the candle was meant for the butter, but okay."
Oh, I assumed the candle was made for the. Okay, I just did it slightly opposite. Sorry.
Now, anything interesting in these parts? Back to the two gentlemen.
The man says, "No, nothing interesting." And the other one says, "Interesting."
I didn't get your guys' names. I'm Victor, and I reach a hand out.
The bearded man will reach out and grab your hand and say, "Soldar Soldarovich."
Nice to meet you. And you? And I reach my hand
Uh,
towards the other one.
He says, "Yevgeny Krushkin."
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna remember their names.
This is why you make note.
I don't know how to spell those, even if I wanted to.
Hey Ryan, how do you spell those names?
Oh, fine. Alright,
This
here
is
we
for
go.
Gavin, not for me. I'm not even in there.
Do you want their full names or just first name?
Just some sort of abbreviation would work. Not even have to be proper.
Oh, that's...
So we're gonna call him Soldar. And
There we go.
Yevgeny. These are some foreign names. Well, nice to meet you two. What are you guys just hunters, rangers in the area?
Wolf hunters.
That's a
The other
full-time
one
profession?
says wolves. He says, sometimes I transport people between town.
Ah. Sometimes people hire you to do what we've been doing.
You can see his stern face get a little bit sterner.
We can think of each other as, co-workers? And I hand him another beer. Or another thing of wine.
He says, that's a stretch, but he does take the wine.
I chuckle and I, put the other one next to the other guy there. And I slowly nurse, like aggressively nurse my, my last one.
Mm.
Like, they're gonna be done 2 of them and whatever they had before by the time I'm even halfway done this drink.
Okay.
Well, nice meeting both of you. I'll, be sure to say hi if I have any questions about slaying wolves.
Is not too hard.
Have a good night, Joe. And, I go sit next to Noel.
Okay. While you two are doing that, outside on the street, you guys have been walking through the town for quite a while. Are you just going from the main road, all the way to the other edge of town, or do you kind of want to weave in through some of the side streets?
The first set of plans was to mark down main roads, and then the secondary roads. Nothing like super deep back alleys or anything like that with just the 2 of us. But essentially primary roads and then the basic traversing branch off roads.
Okay. There aren't too many other roads in town. It looks like total there are 7 side roads. And then the main road that goes from one end of town to the other.
Yeah. Essentially, Shiver wants to make a rudimentary map with markers and whatnot. You know, standard stuff.
Yeah.
Shiver stuff.
So, walking along the main road, mostly just more houses along the way. You can see more pieces of wolves strung about. Eventually, when you come to the other edge of town, kind of near the edge of town, but not all the way there, you do find a slouching century-old stone church with a bulging steeple in the back and walls lined with cracks. Stained glass windows depicting pious saints with a fence kind of wrought in iron enclosing a garden of gravestones next to the church. And you can see that there's a thin mist that kind of creeps through the graves.
Looking over at... What's your character's name?
Rex.
Rex. Looking over at Rex. How much you want to bet that's haunted?
Don't really believe in hauntings.
I mean, I sort of depict undead of any type, like bothering a place to be a haunting of sorts. And the last chapel we went to was relatively full of ghosts and zombies and stuff. So, I want to see if there's some life in this one, or shall we keep walking around?
Sure, I can quickly check. I'll use what's it called again? Primeval awareness.
Yeah, sure. How
And see
far
if
does
there's any
that go?
undeads. 1 mile.
1 mile.
Wait. Yeah, I need undead from 1 mile of you, or within 6 miles of your favorite terrain.
I have to check something now. What is your favorite terrain?
Forest.
Oh, this would be a forest, so you have a 6-mile range?
Apparently, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, mine's the same.
Yeah, you get a couple pings of undead throughout the town. None by the church.
Oh. And I also know how many there are.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I know the direction that they're in and how many
I'm gonna
there
say 30 currently
are. In town?
in town.
Okay.
You know there are some to the southeast,
Some to the southeast.
2 separate locations, and there are some to the northeast in 1 location.
So, on my
Information.
on the map that I'm making, while we walk around a bit, I'm gonna get Rex to kind of like point out the rough areas and rough distances that, and I'll mark those places down on my map.
Yeah, when I switch over to the map for the town, because you're obviously mapping out the town,
Yeah.
I'll pass that over to you guys, and then you can mark out. I'll give you guys like a circle of where it might
Yeah.
be.
You said it was a southeast?
Southeast in 2 different locations,
Yeah, southeast.
and northeast in 1 location.
Yeah, if you just want to make like circle marks on that map for
Yep.
me, and do you get to know what kind of undead or just undead?
Just undead.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna throw this map to you guys right now.
The town map
Where
for the town map for Barovia and the Vallaki map. Can you make it a handout for?
I could, but then you wouldn't be able to share locations with everybody.
I mean, just for bookkeeping's sake. Because I actually have it written down in my inventory that I have these maps, so being able to actually refer to them on the go might be useful, instead of just asking you to pull them.
Is this the tavern here?
I can do that in a bit. I gotta mark stuff down on here for you first.
Yeah, I'm not saying do that right now, I'm saying, like, after session.
Let's see. There we go. Oh, that's way too big.
I think
There.
that's there, yeah.
So that's, yeah, in roughly that location.
Fair
right there
enough.
is the Blue Water Inn.
Water Inn.
Over here is some kind of church. And then you want circles. So I'll have to find those and then make a circle around them.
The zombie areas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, undead.
Yeah,
Doesn't necessarily have to be on zombies.
I was being facetious.
The area where Strahd is. We're gonna go clear the town, guys! Oh no, we've triggered the last boss!
Alright, so in this location is a circle somewhere around there. In this location.
I like your circles, Ryan.
Yeah, thanks. I'm doing it with a mouse. And so that would be, yeah, kind of over here.
You know you can use the circle shape creator, right?
Yeah, could do. Yours are gray though.
Yeah, I can change that 1 second. I got you.
Red would be better.
Yeah, making note of that on the maps. How often can you do that, Rex?
I can do it as long as I have spell slots. I use a spell slot and I take a minute and I pretty much concentrate.
Alright, so it's very much like my magics. Interesting. Was there anywhere that caught your eye around here? It doesn't seem like there's too much in the chapel. Shall we look into
No.
that?
Do I sense? Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really sense anything in there, so.
Well, there's no harm in walking up and knocking on the door, I guess. See if there's
Yeah.
actually a person in this one, too.
The door is
Yeah,
open.
we could check.
You can
Ah.
see kind of candles inside.
They're lit?
Yep.
I guess we could go see.
I mean, they would definitely be the best place to kind of ask about these wolf heads and parts that are hanging around.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up
Maybe
to the
they
door.
know something about the undeads that are
Sure.
currently in their town.
Gonna
Looking
walk up
inside,
and
you can see there's a man standing behind an altar, and he's giving a sermon, and it sounds like he's just wrapping up a sermon to two individuals sitting in some of the pews. Not too many other people here right now.
gonna walk in, not make too much of a noise, kind of sit down in the back to listen to the tail ends of it.
Mhm. It seems like he's reciting scripture about the Morning Lord. Something you would be sort of familiar with from listening to Donovich in the other town.
Yeah.
He also mentions a figure in his sermon about the name Saint Andral.
Saint Andrew.
Yeah.
One second. This is Valaki.
Saint Andrew. Okay.
Master mentioned Daylord and Saint. What's his name?
Andral. It's on the bottom of the chat there.
And excellent. What do when he finishes speaking, the other two people in there, do they stay or do they up and leave?
The elderly lady gets up to go, and the other person looks like a man or boy. It's hard to see with them facing the wrong way. Stays. The priest himself also stays.
Yeah. Once he's done, I look to Rax. Shall we go up and approach them?
Yeah.
All right. Gonna
Just
walk up to, like, towards the gentleman.
Mm-hmm. He sees you approaching and kind of waves his arms out and says, "Welcome to the Church of Saint Andral. I do not recognize you. Are you to the flock?"
We are travelers. We've spent pretty much a night and day making our way here from the town of Barovia.
At night? That is not a journey to be taken lightly.
It wasn't particularly comfortable, but time was kind of a pressing matter for us. But we've made it here safe enough.
How may I help you at my humble church?
We visited the church in Barovia. This kind of stood out to us as a place to kind of get some answers. Not in a negative way, I might add.
He says, "That is good. You had me a little nervous."
I apologize. Talking to people.
Outsiders are the
Mhm.
kindest folk I have met.
We don't have any intent stirring trouble where trouble may. So, can you tell us what can you tell us about this Saint Andrel?
He was the founder of the church here. He started the religion here in Valaki. Not the religion of the Morning Lord himself, but in this town. His bones were buried here.
Okay. What?
But recently they have gone missing.
The bones have?
Yes.
How recently?
Only the other day. They protected the church, and I am a little worried that without their protection, the church may fall.
Well, I know we have some stuff to do in the town. Could you, like, was there any defining features for these bones?
No, they were just bones.
Well, if we find any type of bones lying around or any clues, we'll definitely let you know or bring them back. And, well, I suppose the next question, and pardon it being a little rude to ask it now than earlier, can I grab your name?
I am Lucian Petrovich.
Okay. I spelt it phonically.
Phonetic.
And I have a page here named Yeska.
I look over I assume I can see whether it's a boy or a man now.
It looks like a young man. Not wearing any vestments of any kind, just like a brown tunic.
Would that be the gentleman that's here?
No, this is Milivoj. He is the undertaker.
What was the page's name?
Yeska.
Alrighty. Then I suppose the next question for you is, I've noticed the woven parts like hung and decorated all over town. Is there any significant meaning for such?
Yes, that would be the burgomaster's doing. That was from the Wolf Head Jamboree a week ago. It has not been properly torn down yet.
Oh, a festival of sorts?
Yes, you could say that. The burgomaster is fond of throwing festivals. He has posted proclamations that all will be well as long as the festival is held every week. It's been this way for a few years now.
What would be the upcoming week's festivities?
That would be the Festival of the Blazing Sun.
Oh? Interesting. You don't really get too much sun around these parts. Would that be something that's held more towards the religion that you follow?
I think it might be. He has not consulted me at all about such things. But I think it is more a facade than anything. It's something to base the festival on. Since he holds one every week,
The
can
meaning's
get
a little
stale.
lost.
Needs to find subjects.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking down to Rex. Is there anything that you were curious?
Uh, yeah, I'm not. Do you guys know that you have undeads in the town?
There are undead here in Valaki?
Yeah, I have an ability that allows me to locate them, and
I
apparently
would
there are some.
suggest that maybe talking to the guards might be a good idea about that.
Okay,
Do you think maybe it has something to do
with the missing
potentially with the
bones.
bones?
I would not be surprised. The bones
Ah.
have protected this place for a long time, and their going missing is not a good omen.
Do you know of any magical users in town that might be able to raise
Uh,
dead?
there are not too many wizards in Barovia that I know of,
Okay.
and that kind of thing is kind of kept close to the chest.
Yeah.
With
I
that in
would
mind,
warn you as outsiders about the festivals. Do not say anything bad about them.
Okay.
You could be arrested for doing so.
I definitely appreciate the warning. Last thing we want to do is cause troubles. It was kind of noticeable that a lot of people seem rather on edge, but I suppose that does make sense with where we are.
Yes, no one is exactly comfortable here. This is one of the safer, yeah, but still, we live
Oh,
here of our Dread Lord.
actually, while we were coming here, so we come from outside of Barovia entirely. I
I
assume you could guess.
I had guessed. I've never met outsiders before, but I know in the previous priest's notes that he noted such.
So pulling out the map that of actual Barovia that I had been starting, this is where we kind of came in, pointing to the area that was marked with the big gate. And I noticed there was one between the town of Barovia and here. Is there any information you can give us on these huge, just gate, like ancient wallings?
Not that I am aware. I only know that they encircle the main valley of Perovia. When you exit them, you're leaving the main valley and into the smaller holds.
And that's more information than the town of Barovia could give us, so I do appreciate it.
You are welcome. Anytime I can give assistance. Especially if you would look into the bones for me.
I look down at Rex, not to speak for you, but is it safe to assume that that's definitely something that you'd keep your eyes out for too, Rex?
Well, yeah, there's something obviously weird going on with the undeads and everything, so.
Lou, I have a group of fellow friends that I've been traveling with. It's growing late tonight, but do you mind, once we're done our business tomorrow, do you think we could come here and take a look at where the bones were? Maybe a couple of new eyes might be able to figure out something that you had missed.
Yes, if you wish. That would be very good.
Okay.
Looking at the bird, I feel like it might be a good idea for us to start heading back. We've been walking the streets for a while. I'm a bit of a map maker, so I got lost in the town a bit,
Yeah.
seeing the sights that were around.
just one more thing. We had a sort of prophecy or something told to us, foretelling. We are supposed to go to a thing called like the Wall of Bones. Do you know anything about that?
That does not sound like a good place. No, I have never
No.
heard of such a thing. A
Um.
fortune telling, you say? You've
Yeah.
visited the Vistani then. I
Yeah.
do not like to hold prejudices, but in the past they have not been entirely trustworthy for me.
Yeah. They haven't been very trustful for us either. They
They
There
just
got
told us that.
is a camp just outside of town with Vistani in it.
Hmm.
If you would like, I can mark that on your map.
Yeah, I would appreciate that.
Please do.
Yeah,
Uh,
and he's going to
is
mark
it the
right
same camp
here.
that? Okay, so it's the one right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty.
And the ravens that are around town, do you know where they go? They seem to go northwest. Do you know where that leads?
I have not followed the ravens, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, okay. I figured, just might as well.
I know
There's
that
something in...
the inn keeps a coop up top.
What was that?
The
The
inn
inn.
keeps a coop.
Oh, then keeps coop. Okay. Okay.
Was that the blue wall?
Yes, that is the only inn in town.
Pointing, like, pulling out the map of Valaki, can you point us out to a general store and any buildings of note that we might want to know of? Like the Burgermeister's building?
Yeah, he can find the Burgomaster's building for you on there. The Burgomaster's mansion is right here.
You said here, but I don't see it.
I know, I'm writing it down.
You
I have,
bamboozled
to,
me.
I have to look at how to spell Burgomaster every time.
It's like mayor.
It is quite a word.
I'm a lazy butt. I would just like the word mayor.
The joys of being a map maker. You can ask people for directions.
Yeah, right there.
Oh, oh boy, right in the middle of that.
Oh, yeah.
That bodes well.
He says there is another noble in town, if that's of any note to you.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
He says that would be the Wachter family.
How do you spell that?
Wachter.
Okay.
Right there.
Oh.
Also great news.
Looking.
I'm
And
gonna
how the other thing for your ability, how long does it last? Like your sense of awareness. Is it a ping or is it a
It's kind of like a ping. It's like I use it and I know the location and the rough distance that they're away from me. And how many there are.
He says there is
In each
a
place.
toy store in town as well, if that's of any.
I'm gonna quickly point over to the circle that Shiver has put on her map. The one that doesn't have
The
any
th-
like the
yeah.
third one. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, what's around this area?
That is around the town square. This triangle type street here is around the town square. There are a number of houses there.
Okay.
There is a coffin shop there. Yeah, mostly just the town square and the coffin shop.
Okay. Well, thank you for the
And
information.
you said that there was a toy maker's hut?
Yes.
The
I
more
swear to God,
information, the better. I like to have detailed maps,
if
so.
the toy maker's in the third circle, I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
Oh, that's not how you spell square. That's how you spell squire. Oh,
God,
wait.
Ryan, learn how to spell.
It says map.
Let's see. Toy store. Yeah, that would be up here. Toy store.
Did you need to look up how to spell toy?
I did. Coffin.
Is it TOI or TOE?
The only
I
toys
don't know.
Ryan knows are sexual ones.
What a comment for your story.
Excellent. Yeah.
Bamboozled.
Big goof. Big goof.
I think it's safe to say that we'll bid our farewell now, correct, Rex?
Yeah, thank you for the information. We'll definitely return back here tomorrow.
When leaving the church, I think walking. I'll ask Rex, how many more times do you think you'll be able to use your undead senses for tonight?
Tonight?
Mm-hmm.
I can do this
I
two more
assume
times.
I assume your magic works similarly to mine.
Yeah, I could use it 2 more times.
Like pointing out the map. On our way back to the Blue Inn, maybe traveling on the road through here and using it, and then taking a quick venture into the town square to use it before going back to the inn. Maybe that would be able to narrow it down for us?
Maybe.
Or-
I do have to spend a minute to
I
use
mean,
it, but we can, yeah.
we're walking through the streets. There's no.
Which square, which circle seemed to have the most influence, Ryan?
That would be northeast.
The northeast one? Okay.
Yeah,
So the one with the Watchers.
with the Watchtower House. Yeah.
I'll just point that out. I'll be like, this one seemed to be the most influenced.
We can probably look into that tomorrow.
Yeah.
I feel like the Burgermaster's area might be the most important because we have the meeting that we're going to want to set up in the morning.
Yeah, and it's also close by our
Mm-hmm.
where we are. Yeah, I can actually do it at the hotel. That's
I
pretty
feel-
close to all 3 of them.
For sure. With the actual path to walk, I'd like to say swing down this way, then up to get a little bit more familiar with just
This
the area.
down here. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now that I don't have my nose stuck in my notes making everything, I'd like to just kind of walk through and be more observant.
Yeah, so you head up to the Burgomaster's mansion.
Mhm.
It's covered in walls of plastered stone, displaying many scars where the plaster has fallen away from age and neglect. You can see drapes cover every window, including a large arched opening above the mansion's double entrance door.
Okay.
Alrighty. Then I guess just swing up back to looking to Rex. Do you want to use one here, or shall we go up to the inn?
I feel safer going up to the end. So
Alrighty.
I do have to spend 1 minute too, and it might look
For sure.
suspicious.
That is true, I suppose.
You know that you only sensed one presence in this circle.
In this one down here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna point it out. Like I've only sensed one down here.
All right. Well, let's head up to the inn. I think the others might be wondering where we are by now.
Yeah.
Walking back in to perfectly hear Victor say, "I wonder where Shiver is."
Sure, yeah, we'll go with that.
Hearing that, I'll call, "Hey, Victor!"
Hello, Shiver. How is map making?
Well, I actually got a lot of information.
Yeah, I'm gonna quickly just walk over to and try to whisper in Victor's ear. There's undead in this town.
We'll have to deal with those in the
Nevermore is
morning.
going to fly up to the door that I.
Yeah, well, we have a lot to deal with in the morning. Let's make sure we get through tonight for now, though.
Yeah, I'm just gonna point out that there's one right under us.
Yeah.
How many would be in this area, Ryan?
In that area, you sent 8.
8. There's 8 a little bit to the east.
Southeast?
Yeah, southeast area. And then you said there's 30 in total, so that would be
Like 17.
7. Yeah,
8.
about 17 up top.
To the north.
You said that there was about 30? 1 plus 8 is 9, leaving 21.
I thought he said
So
12.
there's
Oops.
you said 30, right, Ryan?
I did.
Okay, yeah. So there's 21 above us.
Well, we must be wary. We do not have infinite resources.
I just wrote a number in the red text in each of the bubbles to indicate how many.
Yeah. We found out some. Apparently, these really, really important bones to these people, well, at least the church, have been missing since yesterday. Also.
Intriguing.
We also found out about the wolves and everything that's hung up everywhere.
I was talking to some hunters in the corner there. They told me
All of
a bit
all
about
of the
it.
pikes and whatnot was for a festival.
Ah. Fun.
Speaking of which, do not talk bad about any of the festivals.
Yeah, you may get arrested.
He heavily implied you would be arrested.
Yep. Well,
It seems from what I gathered, maybe they're using the festivals to kind of lighten up the mood, maybe.
You see the woman kind of come up to your table and pass you another goblet and say, "I would not speak so loud. Even this might be enough to get you arrested."
Oh, jeez.
And she goes back around the bar. She kind of whispered that under her breath to you guys.
Yeah.
We must be careful here. It seems like, under my breath, seems like the Burgoat Master's a little mad with power.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. In the area that he's in, I've only sensed one undead in that area.
Probably a powerful one.
we can discuss a lot of this in the room with the others around as well. A little bit more closed doors.
Mm-hmm. Did our companions that we brought with us, did they have a plan, or did they just want us to drop them off here?
That was their plan, yep.
Was
Ismark
to
wanted to bring his sister away from Barovia, where he knew she was in danger, to hopefully a safe city where she might be safe, because he knew there were walls here, so it'd be a little harder for her to be in danger.
Maybe not mention there's undead here to them.
I feel like we probably should. I don't want to leave them here unknowing of the situation they may find themselves in.
Well, we should deal with the undead, shouldn't we?
If we have time.
I mean, they're undead. They should be.
I'm all for it, but we have priorities. We can't kill every single undead in every single town.
We can also let the guards know.
Yeah.
That's something we can do. But that is for tomorrow.
I agree.
Let's. Who's gonna take
My
first
magic.
watch?
I could take first watch.
Because the birds should be fine for one room, but they can't guard everywhere.
Yeah, I could take first watch.
Sure, I shall take the second then.
Okay. What rooms are you putting the siblings in?
Well, they get their own. They have their own room that night.
You want them to have their own room? Okay. Are you posting someone at the door?
I believe we have the bird watching basically both from outside.
Okay, so probably like on the windowsill or something.
Yeah, outside.
Edgar will be in the room. Nevermore, more or less looks like she's wanting to go to. Nevermore cannot stay up all night.
No. Nonetheless, Brandon and I we'll all take turns guarding their room.
Yeah.
I suppose that'll leave third watch.
Noel, are you too hungover to do fourth? Or too drunk to do fourth watch?
We can always have Petra here take a watch also if we need.
Yeah, the raptor. Sorry.
Real quick question: can Petra fit inside?
It's
She's a medium creature.
It's like keeping her from smashing everything on tables is difficult, but she fits inside, yeah.
She's people sized. She's just got a wingspan.
Yeah, but she's old. Her wing. She uses her hand, like her hands are connected to her wings. So
yeah. She's also a mostly wild animal.
kind of. She knows not to attack anyone and stuff like that. So
if you try and bring her inside, the woman will come up and say, please, not inside, no. We have stables for pets outside.
It's not really a pet of mine, but okay.
Maybe put her on the roof. Carefully. Don't break the roof, please.
Yeah. we can always have her like fly around too.
Do some laps. Sure. Okay.
While she's here, is there anything that you can tell us about the Watchter family?
Let me check. Aha! Alright, she says, I can tell you a little bit about her, yes?
We only heard that they were nobility, but I figure knowing the people that are around is better than offending the people that are around.
Yes, Lady Fiona Wachter, she really does not like the Burgomaster. In fact, I think she is probably the person she hates most. I have heard her say I'd rather the devil than the madman.
Interesting.
She has a great manner up to. She has two sons, Nikolai and Karl. They're not good boys. And a daughter that she hides from the public. She keeps her locked away.
Do you know her name?
I do not. But the rumor is she's not sane.
I feel like a lot of people probably aren't sane.
I mean the daughter.
Oh, I know what you meant.
And the rumor is the Burgomaster does not confront her about it because he is afraid of her. Her family has very ties to Strahd.
Would explain a few things.
When yeah, that's it.
Fair enough. Well, we know, we have definitely some suspicious things to take care of in the morning.
Yeah.
For now, I think I'm gonna go get some rest. I think it's about time.
I agree.
Alright.
I've already done enough mapping for tonight.
She says, if you need more bedding, let me know, and I can get you more. Food is in the morning. You've paid for it already. It's part of your room. As early as sunrise, but no later than a little before noon. We'll try and keep it warm for as long as we can, but it doesn't taste so good after a while.
Fair enough.
Okay.
And we
What
do
was
have a cauldron that is for bathing early in the morning too. It will be warm, but after that you will have to stoke it yourself.
Thank you.
Okay.
what was the lady watchster's name again?
Fiona.
We have a lot of people to talk to, it appears.
My
So,
notes page is growing. Yes.
so many
Yes.
NPCs. All of them. All the NPCs.
I mean, I don't have your guys' hunter NPCs down.
It's true.
Oh, for tomorrow morning, I have some wolf pelt and fangs that I gathered from some of the dire wolves that we killed on our way in. Would there be anywhere for me to sell these things?
The stockyard is where most of the trading is done.
Thank you very much.
It is open around 9.
Okay.
And with that, onwards to the sleep cycles.
All right, you guys all go to sleep and have a long rest. I need to go to the bathroom, so I'm gonna take a break for 5 minutes.
Sure.
5-minute break. Boop, boop, boop.
Okay.
5-minute
I
break.
can't wait for Vivi to wake up and not have all of this information.
I'm gonna quickly bring it back.
Vivi was sleepy.
She was. She went to bed. She does not know that she can't talk about the festivals like
We'll have to tell her that because we don't want her, you know, ruining
I
us.
mean, Shiver's plan was to, when everyone is awake, to go over uniformly all of the information that was gathered. At least
yes,
at the church.
Vivi's going to be awake before everyone, so she's gonna have like an hour or two by herself.
Break. What am I gonna do?
I mean, your bird can tell you.
Nevermore can communicate to me. Yes. Nevermore could inform me.
We also haven't mentioned the Vistani camp or any of that yet.
There's a lot to go over.
Vivi would know everything that Shiver and Rex knew because of Nevermore. Nevermore would communicate it to her as soon as.
Yep.
Looks so comfy.
And this was the day of. Bluntly put, Brandon, I appreciate your ability.
The Necrosearch?
It works. Yeah, it works so nicely with maps and this setting.
Brandon has the Unearthed Arcana version, which gives you the number. The regular does not give you the number. It just tells you that there are some.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the standard one's just like, yep, there's stuff. And you're like, great. I wasted a spell slot to find out if they existed nearby. Nothing else.
It doesn't tell you any distance or anything?
It does not tell you. The regular one does not tell you location or number. It just tells you whether or not there are any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fays, fiends, or undead in a mile or 6 in your favored. So, super vague.
I think the North Darkata is nicer.
Yeah, it is. The unarmed Thrarkana does lose one thing. I believe when you have favorite enemy selected as human or humanoid on the regular, it's literally every humanoid. But I think the YA one is you have to pick 2 group types.
Ah, nifty.
The
Sorry, the
original
UA.
is you pick 2 humanoids, and
Oh,
then
okay, I'm
the
back.
Unearthed Arcana is just all humanoids.
Yeah, that's what it was. Sorry. The UA one basically
This is
pumped
why-
up every single skill of Rangers. Some of them may be a little too much, but for the most part, not a big deal.
For what?
I was just saying that the UA Ranger pumped up pretty much every one of the base skills a little bit.
Yeah, well, a lot of them were really underwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, everything about the Ranger is. For the most
Alright,
part.
I am returned.
Hello. Okay.
Hello, returned.
Do we have everybody back?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Yep.
I assume Zoe's here too.
Mm-hmm.
So, you awaken in
She's
the
up.
morning.
No.
Light comes in
Awesome.
through the windows.
Vivi wakes up first because she took a rest before everyone.
I'd like to double check something.
Yeah,
The
what's up?
sister's still there, correct?
Yeah, she's still there.
Okay.
Nothing happened. Edgar didn't notice any.
Nope. Well, you know what? Make a perception check.
Perception check with Edgar. Okay, hold on.
I have been attacked by the yawn.
It's a
Big
very
nap
dangerous
energy.
monster.
The yawn roll? It's like the king yawn. Instead of a yarl, a yawn roll.
Yapping.
Yeah, didn't notice anything that would spark him waking you up.
Okay.
Should I'm going to assume nothing happened inside. During the watches?
Looking around the room, no.
Okay. Sounds like we ought to wake
I'm
up
gonna-
and
Yeah.
get some breakfast.
When Vivi wakes up, she's gonna wake up Nevermore, who will then very grumpily inform Vivi of the discoveries of Shiver and Rex, and then she will proceed to not mention anything about them.
I'm gonna run downstairs while screaming, "Food!"
Yeah, and you can see
Vivi-
that the woman is kind of walking around the room handing out food to the 2 men who were there the previous night, who seem like their hair is kind of plastered against the side of their head, like they slept there on the table.
I would like.
There is the elven man at the bar eating as well.
I don't think we ever introduced ourselves to him.
And he's got a notebook open and he's writing in it.
Vivi
So-
is going to gauge the balcony that she's standing on and ponders jumping it.
It's 10 feet down. Well, from where you're standing, you'd have to climb up onto the railing and then jump down. So it'd be more like 10.5 feet. Well,
She'll-
10 and 3.
She's
Walking
gonna
down.
walk around.
Okay.
She will then grab food and look at the 2 people who she believes clearly have stayed the night here, and then the elf is like, and she'll walk over to the elf and go, "Good morning."
He says, "Good morning."
My name is Vivi.
It's a pleasure to meet you. And he reaches out to shake your hand.
I return the gesture, and she takes a quick look over the notebook. What are you working on?
He says, just some carnival acts, maybe. And he closes the book and puts it in his breast pocket. And he says, Rictavio. That's my name.
Can I insight that, please?
Yeah, go for it.
Do you not think that's his name, Matthew? Or is it
I don't think that's what he was working on.
He seems honest to you.
I still think
Okay.
he's cute.
You don't know that.
Well, he described what he looks like.
A middle-aged elf? Like
He
an
just-
old elf, Zoe.
A old man elf.
But elf.
And for an elf to look like an old man means he needs to be like 900 years old.
Looking at him closer now than you because it was nighttime, you were tired, and also you didn't touch him. At this point, because you're closer, you can see that his ears are a little too small and less pointed to be a full-blooded elf.
So he's just an old half-elf. Fair enough.
Did my compatriots come and bother you last night?
No, I don't think I've been introduced.
Oh. I'm sure they spent some time down here. Oh well. So you.
Technically, I was said hi, and then there was food, and I instantly got distracted by food.
So you help with the, and in a very hushed tone, festivities around town?
No, I don't. I run a wagon. Rictavio's Carnival of Wonders. Maybe you've heard of it.
I'm new to the area, but I will definitely check that out.
I'm pretty well known.
I'm pretty sure I'm not from this plane of existence, so...
Oh. Alright. That's quaint.
I don't got much more information. I'm sorry, dude.
What a strange thing just to tell a complete stranger.
And just at this point, Shiver's gonna be in just casual clothes, just without weapon, without armor, all that's left up in the room right now. A couple scroll cases and refining stuff for working on maps, but walking down, seeing Vivi. Looking around afterwards to where do I pick up the food?
It's just at the bar. You can see every once in the man comes out from the back and hands a platter of food to the woman, and she starts serving it around the inn.
I'll walk over to where Vivi is and wait for the food. Curious to see another elf here.
You say that to him, or you are curious?
I am curious,
Okay.
not that I am saying that, but I'll approach. I very much am an elf.
I'll be in like mid, asking like, so when do your performances typically?
Well, I haven't done any performances through my wagon here. I have a broken wheel currently. And I've just been kind of working on an act. I don't want to give a performance without perfecting this act first. I do tell stories here sometimes in the evening, though.
Of course, professionalism is very important. I understand completely. Oh, this is my friend Shiver.
Oh, hey Vivi, who's this? Looking over, like outstretching a hand to shake it.
Name's Rictavio.
Nice to meet you. I'm Shiver.
You as well.
You're saying you run the like thinking for a couple seconds. Oh, is the what I think I saw your name somewhere. Was it on a She's a little sleepy and groggy, just be like, tried to figure out where she saw that name.
Was it perhaps on my cart?
Oh, what does your cart look like? That does ring a bell.
It's green and red, and is a wagon with a sign that says my name on it.
The whole anime style of like having the palm out flat, the fist going tunk together, like, oh yes, yes, yes. I did.
So, after we all eat breakfast, I assume we're going to gather up and look into what we want to do first here, right?
Yeah, when you guys finish up breakfast, you can see that Rictavio's kind of been like stashing food off to the side, and then he wraps them up in a cloth and gets up and leaves.
Strange.
Shiver won't pay it any mind. Like, I get it. People gotta eat. Leftovers need to be eaten too.
Yeah. I'll save part of my food for Petra.
I'm gonna put some of the stuff that seems like it would last a little bit longer into my pockets.
Okay.
When
Some pocket
when
steak.
does the sister come out of their room?
They would get up around now. You can see them coming out of their room.
Edgar will fly over to me.
I want to ask them what their plan is now. Because I'm genuinely very curious. What is their next plan? Like, what do they think of doing next? Because they got here, but they don't really have a place to stay.
They said that they're going to ask
The burgomaster?
the burgomaster if they're able to stay in the town.
Sorry, I missed that. My dog was going off again.
That's okay. I'm just curious what the siblings' plan is now.
Oh yeah, so when they come down and they start picking at the leftover foods, and you ask them that, Ismark will say, well, I had intended to maybe talk to the burgomaster about maybe taking us in as a favor from burgomaster to burgomaster, but if that's not an option, we would try to find a house here to hold up in.
Okay. You weren't with us last night, but apparently, a couple pieces of advice. The burgomaster's a big fan of these celebrations he's hosting, so just don't say anything negative about them.
That is good to know.
Shiver will kind of. I assume at this point we've all kind of communed. There's information to go over, but I would recommend going over it with less ears around. We can go back up to the room and we'll cover this more touchy subjects there. At the same time, Shiver wants to do some fun little finger waggles, and all of the dishes are clean.
Okay.
Some prestidigitation.
Yeah, so when the woman comes over and picks up the dishes, she kind of, raises her eyebrows a bit and then carries them back to the back room. All right, you guys go up into one of the larger rooms.
Yeah.
100%.
And for the sake of brevity, insert giant dialogue stuff that we all listen to here.
Okay. You mostly just tell them about the undead, you tell them about the church, Burgomaster Wachter.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
And does Victor and them tell us about their side of everything?
I mean, we didn't learn too much. Just that these hunters basically have a full-time job hunting wolves at this point.
Yeah. that's absolutely true.
Like, apparently there's a
It's
lot of wolves
concerning
attacking.
that there's one undead in the burgomaster's place, though.
Yeah.
Last time there was a
It's
single
around that
undead, it was
area.
someone's son, so hopefully this is a little less stressful than
And
that.
not too by off. There's 9 others. 9 other undead.
Shut up.
Zoe.
Yeah. but,
Also,
like,
for the sake of those who care, I point out the map. There's apparently a toy shop there.
A toy shop?
Let's focus on, you know,
Let's
everything
focus
else.
on. Me and Shiver said that we're going to go back to the church and try to investigate.
Let's get
Maybe
these
would
two
like
sorted
to
out, I
look
think,
the undead.
first.
I would like to go to the burgomaster's place with them.
Yeah, I think we should stick together at this point, especially if we're going into areas with undead presence.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
We never gave the church a time, so
Yeah.
I think Burgermaster first. Then I'd actually like to go sell some of this, the pelt and fangs that I got earlier. Earn us a little bit of coin there, and then we can go to the church and follow up. Does that sound like a plan to start with?
I mean, apparently it's 15 minutes across this whole town, so I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
So, off to the burgomaster's as we go.
All right. So you guys all head down to the south end of town, passing by. Well, depends which way you go.
Probably
I assume you're taking the shortest route.
this way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just head straight to the mansion. You can see a number of guards are out in front of the doors here. You can see a number of people coming and going from the building. Some of them are being carried away by guards.
Oh.
Being carried away by what?
Guards.
Okay.
I'm gonna send both Nevermore and Edgar to fly around the building to see if they can see into any window.
Yeah, so let's see. From the top window, you can see a very cluttered attic type room. From some of the ground floor windows, you can't really see too much, mostly hallways. And a bed chamber. And another bed chamber. On the ground floor, you can see a dining room. You can see like a meeting area, like a lounge. That's about it for windows.
Fair enough. So,
I will keep that information mostly to myself, as there's nothing really.
You do see in one of the lounges there is a woman, a very tall woman dressed in red robes, with a white plumed collar and a long draping capelet. And she's
A long
kind
draping
of
what, sorry?
capelet. It's like a cape but shorter.
Essentially, it's a cape that goes halfway down the back.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she's drinking tea there, talking to some other women.
I'm gonna leave Nevermore there, and Edgar's gonna come back. So Nevermore is going to be a raven peeping in through the window.
Alright.
Your birds are creepy.
My birds do reconnaissance really well.
and also creep on people really well.
Yeah.
Reconnaissance.
Yeah.
No,
so
Poppy,
should
you're
we just go
fine.
through the front door then?
Ryan's probably dealing with his.
I
Well,
am.
I'm asking you guys what you think we should do.
I feel like
Yeah.
we should approach the front doors like right and do that thing where we say, we have people who want to see the Burgerman.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best course of action.
Agreed.
However, and in a extraordinarily sarcastic tone, joke sarcasm, we could maybe, go in from the back, break in, say, these people want to, be taken care of by you, and then probably get thrown in jail. That is plan B.
I can't imagine that would work out great. So let's try plan A first.
I've been in jail. I don't want to go.
Remember, she did say that we're going to get thrown in jail, so that would be a great idea if we wanted to go in jail.
It's true. It's true. We'll keep that in mind if that's ever something we need.
All right, so you guys walk up to
absolutely
the main
out
door.
of character. Or we could shit talk the festivities.
You could shit talk the festivities.
I'm
You
not
would
gonna
know.
lie. I had planned Vivi to be very blunt about the festivities if it wasn't for Nevermore being able to relay the messages.
Well, now she's gonna be not a twat, so hopefully we're okay.
Hopefully.
So, to the guards.
I also agree, hopefully.
To the front doors.
Alright, so yeah, there are 6 guards standing here, 3 on either side of the door, and one steps up to you and says, "Business?"
These two are seeking asylum.
Who are these two?
The
And Ismark will
Burgomaster's
step up and
children.
say, I am Ismark. I am from Barovia. I am son of the Burgomaster there. And he's kind of looks back at the other guards, and they kind of give a shrug, and he says, I'll be with you in a moment. Please wait in the entrance hall. Leave your weapons with us.
All of us should?
That's what he says.
I will
Sure.
hand him my rapier.
Vivi will very willingly hand her two knives.
And the short bow and 2 daggers.
I mean,
Drops 11 bear traps in front. No, those are with the horse.
Yeah, I hand them my crossbow and my 2 daggers. Do they try and take my crowbar?
If you have a visible crowbar, yeah.
I mean, it's in my bag, but I can't imagine it's hidden very well.
No, yeah. So they'd probably ask for those as well. Like anything that could be used as a weapon.
I hand them my crowbar, and do they want my smith's hammer?
I mean, if you have a smith's hammer and you ask them about it, then yes.
It's in the
They
bag.
don't search your bag, though.
Okay, so I give
Would they
them
try to take
the-
my
all the really obvious things, and I keep my hammer in my little bag, and my daggers are also going to stay in my bag unless they say
If your
something.
gauntlets look like weapons, then yes.
Oh,
Vivi's gonna keep her spell focus on.
Me too, Matthew. Me too.
Oh
Sorry.
man, spell focus. It's just a little orb, guys. It does not.
I have this thing called a book. I feel like you guys are being overly cautious, trying to steal my book from. No.
Okay, so we hand them all of our equipment.
Mm-hmm. And the guards that take them kind of step off to like a guard shelter and put them all in there. And 2 of them step over to there to protect your stuff from anyone who might be coming by. And the one who was speaking to you opens the doors up and takes you inside. And you can see here, inside, there are framed portraits which adorn the walls of a grand foyer, which features a wide staircase with sculpted railing. A long carpeted hall attached to the foyer stretches almost the length of the mansion and has several doors leading away from it, including one at the far end. Bundles of twigs are heaped against the walls. And the guard turns to you and says, "Wait here, I will get the burgomaster."
Thank you.
I want to see if I can try and listen in on the conversation that the ladies are having.
Through the crow?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, because you're quite far away from there.
Okay, yeah. I'll be like, one sec, guys.
Okay.
Hearing that, I'll stand beside Vivi.
Yeah,
I assume there's a place to sit in like the entryway.
there is not.
Okay, then hand on Shiver's shoulder.
Yeah, they just kind of kept you standing there waiting. It's kind of like a power play.
Tap me on the back when he returns.
I nod.
All right. So you kind of listen in through your bird, and you can hear muffled voices talking back to between each other. It looks like one of them is kind of knitting a sun to a circle, like a knitting hoop.
Okay.
And they're kind of like talking back and forth about the upcoming festivities, how fun it's going to be. They're going to make all the people happy. And they say hopefully Walker won't upset the festival this time.
Who won't upset the festival?
Walker.
So the noble.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see the door open, and a massive man, 7.5 feet tall, thick set,
Ooh.
huge arms,
Ooh.
wearing a white wolf's pelt cloak and a shaved head. He looks real mean. That's not the most disturbing thing about him, though. His right arm, which is kind of vaguely covered by the cloak, it looks kind of... You can't really see it underneath, unless you could give me a perception check.
I'm gonna give you that perception.
Don't fail us, bird. Don't fail us, dice. You can do this.
That's a really good one. All right, so you can see underneath the cloak as he kind of opens the door. You can see he's quickly withdrawing his arm back underneath the cloak. But you catch sight of it, and it's his skin there from his shoulder downwards it looks like the sleeve has been cut off to accommodate this arm, which is much thicker than his other arm. The skin there quickly changes from pink to red, and it looks kind of deformed and blotted and ends in a 4-clawed talon.
Wild.
Arm, yeah.
I'm as Vivi. I'm going to whisper or to Shiver and just say, "Get Vex near me. Rex near me."
Get Rex near?
Yes.
Here's
Okay.
a picture of him for you.
I will look over to Rex. I'll finger waggle, and a little wisp of "come hither" echoes just beside Rex's ear.
I will walk over. I guess I'll try to climb onto. I'll climb onto. Shiver, because I'm kind of really short.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I don't mind this.
Brandon is actually a small-sized creature, Zoe.
Vivi will then whisper, "Tell me, pat me on the back when."
If you're talking, Zoe, I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
It's okay. I was like, how short are you?
Oh, okay.
I'm like 3 feet tall.
Oh, wow. Good time.
What's going on, Vivi?
I want you to use your ability to sense the undead, and if it's coming from that direction, and I just pointed to it in the direction of the room that they're in.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll need to find a spot that I can safely do it at, because I don't want them, seeing magical powers out here. But I will definitely try to sneak away and do that.
Just hides behind a wall of us.
I mean, I could try. Yeah,
It's fine. The guard left and the door's closed behind us.
Yeah, so I'll go behind all of them as they make a wall and use primeval awareness.
Yeah, the feeling of undead is in this house, on the second floor, near the other end.
Near the other
It is
end.
not coming
Is it
from that room.
okay?
I'll quickly climb back up and be like, it's coming from, and I'll just point over in that the direction on the
What-
second floor.
Vivi does not respond. She is deaf and blind.
Also, is this guy still messing with us? Like, how long is he making us wait, the Burgomaster?
I mean, you're still standing there.
Yeah, it's been a couple of minutes.
So Vivi is going to say pat once for yes, pat two for no.
Oh, for the to see if the person up there is the undead.
Yeah, if the person that I thought
yeah, I pat
was
twice.
is or not.
Pat twice for now.
Okay. Vivi will return to normal vision and have Edgar in. I left Edgar there, or did it? No. Fucking who did I leave there?
Whichever one you can see through the eyes of.
Both.
I assume the one that would listen to you better.
Edgar. But I would have left Edgar there, but I wouldn't be able to. He can't communicate back very well.
Like
Oh well, I would have left Edgar. This is gonna be fun.
Okay.
leaning over to Vivi. What did you see?
They appear to have what could be a guard with a man with claws. Alternatively, it could be the Burgomaster. Who knows? I guess we'll find out soon.
Okay.
I'm gonna just
Knowledge
quickly-
Arcana?
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly point out to Vivi, the undead seem to be coming from, point in the direction of certain undead, and just say, it's on the second floor.
I'm gonna have Edgar look through the rough area of windows where the undead.
There are no windows in that room.
Of course there isn't.
I had to double
Then-
check because there are actually windows on the map.
I can't
Alright.
imagine that undead are a huge fan of sunlight. Or this area
It's
is
at this
equivalent.
point you guys hear as footsteps come down the staircase nearby, and you see two massive dogs come down the stairs and kind of place themselves on either side of the room, looking at you, and they sit. And then coming down the stairs is a man in long, flowing red robes with white collar and white sleeves underneath this robe. He has long, unruly hair, dark with salt and pepper color, and pale skin.
Real quick, I wanted to see if I would be allowed to knowledge Arcana, at least about the cursed arm thing that
The
Vivi
guy you've never
mentioned.
seen.
But Vivi mentioned.
Basically, do you know anything about what can cause a claw arm to appear?
You can try, yeah.
Wow, my rolls are awful right now.
On that note, I'd like to pet a dog. Can I roll animal handling?
Yeah, you can try.
Come on, nat 20,
You can
Gavin.
try everything.
Nope.
Oh!
Oh
Yeah.
no! Oh no!
So you go to come up to this dog, it immediately starts growling at you.
I pull away. I pull...
It takes a snap at your hand where it used to be.
Ooh, sorry. Guard dogs, it appears, rather than pets.
So yeah, this right here is the woman you saw, the man you saw, and the two
Okay.
dogs.
Ooh, they're grumpy boys. Look at these grumpy boys.
The man looks down at you from 3 steps up and says, "I am Baron Vargas Valakovich.
How do you do?
You called for me?"
I point over to the siblings and I go, these two are seeking asylum. They are the Burgomaster's children from Barovia.
I see. They may come then. Please follow me. Your guards can stay here.
Okay.
I would like to put never. I would like to have Nevermore follow them.
Why do they just go back up the stairs, or where are they heading?
Yeah, he takes Ismark and
Vivi is going to look at the girl because I don't remember her fucking name and go, "Here's your bird."
I just brain farted and can't remember it anymore. Irina takes Ismark and Irina upstairs, and yeah, she accepts the bird and props it onto her shoulder.
Perfect. I'm gonna go right into that.
Okay. So yeah, he just leaves you guys standing there.
I
How
get
far
this
up is the
information.
How far up is the second story?
How far up?
Yeah.
It's a floor.
Like, would it be like 10 feet?
About that, yeah.
15?
Average height. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, this one is a little higher than that. It's like 15 feet, yeah.
15 feet? Okay.
Yeah, there's 2 staircases.
I'm just gonna try to sneak over to the area where I sense the undead outside of the house up.
He did leave the guard standing there over
Oh, the
watching
guard?
over you. Yeah.
So maybe not.
Can I? Okay.
But he also... Yeah, he does, yeah.
So what are they talking
So-
about?
What is the gist that I get for this conversation?
He goes upstairs, goes down a hallway with the 2, takes a right, and then goes down that hallway a little bit, takes a left, and opens the door to a main study, it looks like. He's got a massive desk in this room, and with 1 chair in it, and he goes around the desk and sits in that chair, and leaves the 2 siblings standing there. And he folds his hands and says, "Alright. You wish to seek asylum, yes? Well, I will permit you to stay in my town. The south of town is actually quite unoccupied. You may have a house there. I can grant you this thing. I do have a number of rules. You must always be happy, and you must pay your taxes proper like any other citizen. I believe that is about it. If that is all, you may go. I will have my guards take you to your new home." And the twins or not twins, the siblings kind of look at each other like, okay, this was a little brusque. But Ismark nods and says, "Thank you for your generosity, Bergman. I would like to come again and talk to you again later." He says, "I'm a very busy man, but you may." And they turn around and go downstairs.
I would love, like, out of
not
character real
far.
quick, I want to point out the fact that, like, what a goddamn power flex. Say, your guards stay here, we're gonna walk this really long stretch of hallways, sit down and be like, yeah, you can have a house.
Yeah.
Also,
What a goddamn flex.
can we also not look at this dude? He is clearly a supervillain.
I mean, undead in his house, a guy with a claw for an arm. Supervillain is a good tip.
Oh, I did miss something. He does say, "I will have my personal guard escort you there."
Interesting. So, they come back to us, I assume?
They do. They come down the stairs and they're kind of looking a little disconcerted. Like, this was not what we expected.
They didn't expect a house?
And they come down and say, "He is granted asylum here. I thank you for all of your service. We are to be escorted there shortly."
Was there talk of payment?
Okay.
No.
We're just good guys?
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't really offer you payment.
Okay.
He offered you services if he could provide any. I believe. I
Huh.
can't exactly remember.
We'll go off of that assumption that nobody gets anything for nothing, right?
At this point, you hear clomping boots, and coming down the stairs is the man that you saw through the window.
The one-armed man.
Oh.
Well, 2 arms, just 1 claw arm.
Yeah.
I want to roll
Vivi's
perception.
going to give a very good look at a very stern look at Shiver and as a way of trying to signal like this is what I thought was the undead.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think with my passive 14 insight I would get
You would get what?
VV's intent?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so.
I'm gonna try and shake this dude's hand. I'm gonna be like, hello, how do you do?
Yeah, he reaches out with his left hand and shakes your hand.
He reaches out and shakes my right hand with his left hand?
Yeah.
That's gonna be an awkward handshake.
It's his human hand.
I know, that's just an awkward handshake in general.
Mm-hmm.
I shake it awkwardly. I assume...
And he kind of puts his hand on his waist, and you can see that on his belt is a massive great axe.
It's a cool-looking axe. Does it have the adornments of that skull on it there?
Yeah, it is as decked out as that axe is in that picture. That is
Rad.
him.
It's a cool-looking axe.
I'm just gonna look up at him because he's like 7 feet tall and I'm 3 feet tall.
Yeah, he looks down at you.
Brandon headbutts him in the dick. Ugh!
I don't think Brandon's tall enough for
Yeah,
it.
no, I'm not. I'm like up to his like knee.
He says, "Let's go."
I bid the siblings adieu.
You can see as he
Vivi
opens.
is very much going to be like, I'm going to follow them. I don't know about you.
Yeah, we have no purpose to follow them any further.
And Vivi's gonna just look at Victor and go,
You're just like in the foyer talking about this right now.
Yeah.
I don't think our job is done. And then she's just gonna like start walking out of the house.
Yeah, he opens the door, and the guards kind of step aside and give him up. And starts heading southward with the 2 siblings.
I have
I
more
want my
questions for
stuff
the
back.
Burgomaster, honestly.
I am following.
I'm gonna stay and ask the guards if I could speak to the Burgomaster on my own behalf.
Yeah, the guard says, what business do you have now? I thought you did your job.
I just have questions about the town as a whole, as well as some things we may have noticed that he may want brought to his attention.
He kind of looks up the staircase and then looks down at you and says, I can handle any questions you might have.
Sure. I just had a question. We noticed a large amount of undead in the area.
There are no undead in Vallaki.
I'm going to have to disagree. I can
We
tell
protect
you.
this town very well.
I'm gonna pull out my map, walk over. I'm gonna roll persuasion for this, but because charisma rolls are weird. While my companion and I were walking through the streets, he has a talent of sensing the undead that are around, much like a cleric could. And I've actually marked on a basic map that I made the areas.
The guard looks at the map, looks back up at you and says, that sounds a lot like superstition.
By the way, I got a 6 for my persuasion.
Yeah. I saw
16,
that.
sorry.
Oh, 16?
Yeah.
Can Lily have advantage because I'm
Yeah,
also
that
actively
sounds a
doing
lot
this?
like superstition.
Interesting. So he doesn't believe us.
No.
Shiver will turn on her heel and shrug. Well, not my fault if, this place gets run over by undead. And walks out.
Are there like walls around the mansion and stuff?
No, there are no walls
No?
around the
Okay.
mansion.
Yep.
I
I'll start leaving.
as I leave, I say a little prayer for the building, to Lathander. Just sort of a standard ward against the undead, even though I know there's undead in this building.
Okay.
Yeah. And I guess we'll leave since these guys don't believe us.
So while Vivi is following with the siblings and the monster arm guy, she's going to make a very blatantly loud. She's going to say quite profoundly, "There's lots of monsters in Barovia, isn't there?"
Who's she saying that to?
The siblings,
Okay.
while being escorted.
Yeah. What is your passive perception? Actually, go insight. Passive insight.
My passive insight is only 11.
Okay. Yeah.
Can I roll insight? Because I'm very much wanting to see the reaction
Okay.
to this.
Yeah, you can roll insight. That didn't work. You put a period there.
You tried. We'll give you that, Matthew.
I
Nice.
did try
Okay.
very hard. Oh, that's just my passive.
So you don't really get any emotion off of his face. It's just like blank. And he's just walking with purpose.
Cool.
And Irina kind of looks at you weird and says, yes, there are. As a note, all the buildings around you, all the windows
Yep.
are like closed off, boarded up. Just darkness on the inside. No light.
What part of town are we in?
The south part of town.
Like,
Like
oh,
down
God.
here?
Yeah, like over there.
Okay.
You
How
haven't
often
seen
do these-
any people here.
How often
You've seen
do
people in the rest of town. No one is here.
I'm gonna like walk up to being like kind of with the guard guy and be like, how often do monsters make it into the town here?
Never. There are no monsters in Valaki. The Burgomaster's festivals keep them away.
Interesting. Ryan,
Yeah.
from the outside of the building, because we pretty much just got escorted out.
Yeah, that's right. And the guards hand you back your accoutrements.
Thank you. How many guards are there in this area? Is it just the 6 guards at the door?
There are 6 guards at the door. If you look around the rest of the building, there are other guards kind of patrolling the outskirts of the building as well.
Okay, best not to mess around here.
And maybe some inside. It's hard to say without going in and finding them all.
Yeah, Yep, fair enough. Let's, you guys want to head over to the stockyard? Or maybe catch up with, Vivi?
Who's being a little shit?
So, I feel, heading down towards Vivi's way, because there is less people around there, and once we're in earshot of no one being around, Shiver's gonna stop for a moment and, like, turn and look. So, who agrees that, the festivities are a cover-up for the fact that they have a undead in the house, and they're trying to, say that there's nothing wrong in this town when there clearly is?
I don't know about a cover up for the undead in the house, but I can tell you this much: it's definitely a distraction, and there's people in this. I can't tell if the guards are liars or ignorant.
Or they don't know.
That's what I meant by ignorant.
Oh, yeah.
So, Vivi, since you're with
Yep.
the Kolyanas, they are eventually escorted to actually a rather nice house compared to many of the ones around here. You see the large man take his axe and chop open the door with a loud crash noise. In one swing, the door comes flying off of its hinges, and he says, "Your new home. I will fix the door."
Vivi's gonna go inside with them.
Yeah, you can see
And-
inside. It's rather nice, furnished, but it is covered in dust and cobwebs. Like no one has lived here in a long, long time.
Which house on the map is it?
It would be this one here.
That's what I thought. Okay. She's going to usher them to the complete opposite side of the house, leaving Nevermore in the room to watch the door and the guy.
You can see him, the large man kind of leave. He says, "I'll be back in a few minutes."
Nevermore is going to fly out and just be like on the roof of the house, just watching him.
Yeah, he goes down the street, to the northeast.
Okay. Vivi's gonna very quickly look at them and go, so he has a monster op-
Yeah, so Ismark says, "Yeah, that is a little disconcerting. I noticed it when he was walking. This town does not seem as safe as made out to."
No, there's very clearly a cover-up happening with these festivities.
A cover-up?
My friends, when they were out last night, discovered there were undead throughout the town.
Yes, you mentioned this earlier. It is not, good. But it is safer than where we were before.
We will, if we are to leave town, I will inform you.
That
I,
would
at the
be
bare
good.
minimum, promise my service to you if you need it. For payment night.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. I will feel much more comfortable knowing that.
I would leave a bird with you, but it's a little far of a distance for it to communicate back to me. So unfortunately, I believe you will be able to find us at the inn if you need us.
How long do you intend to stay in town for?
I have no idea. I need to go find them.
Alright. We will, I guess, clean this place up. And Irina comes up to you and shakes your hand and says, "Thank you for looking after me and my brother."
I look. No problem, my lady. Perhaps we could practice swinging that sword a little bit. Some other time, though.
I have all the practice I need.
Fair enough.
But I would, happy to instruct you.
I look at my knives and I'm like, I'm more of a magic person, but experience is experience.
And she, kind of claps you on the shoulder and says, "Until next time."
Yes, and then I will turn around and like kind of leave the house and like awkwardly looking at
Yeah, and you can see coming down the street, where you guys came from is the rest of your group. Because you guys said you were following behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would follow enough away, yeah.
Yeah.
So, guys, I have promised at least my service to them if they need it. I did mention that I do require payment next time, but I also told them that we will tell them if we are leaving town and so forth.
Fair enough.
Well, I have 3 places that I'd like to go myself. The first is to the stockyard, because some of this stuff is weighing me down. The second place is actually back at the Blue Water Inn. I'd like to get some wine, and we're early enough in the day. We can investigate the church shortly, but I
Do we
feel
have
like
a reason to investigate the church? You guys never actually mentioned why you wanted to go back. You did mention zombies at the Wagner estate.
the church has a set of bones that are
Missing. That's
that
right, you mentioned
belong to one of the original founder of the church, and I figured more eyes searching, like doing a investigation of the area, not at night, might help a bit.
I'm willing to bet that that ties into one of the other 3 swarms of undead in the area.
I'm sure it does. However, what I was going to say is, bringing the wine, I'd like to go to the Vistani camp. It's... As much as we've had troubles with them, there is information to be gained from them as well. Maybe they'd be a little bit in the know-how of what's going on.
So long as we don't rest near them, I think we'll be okay.
I do not plan on staying there particularly long. I want to go there and get back into the town.
2 out of 2 times I've fallen asleep near Vestani. 2 out of 2 times we've been attacked. I don't want to make it a third.
I definitely do not plan on spending the night near them. But I am more than willing to head over there after we head to the stockyard. You guys mentioned on the way here, ahead of us, past the town square, there were some zombies in this area.
Well, undead.
Undead, sorry. And the only place I note that you guys found out about was the coffin shop, correct?
Coffin shop and the toy store. That's within the area-ish. It's a little bit more up here, but
so why
that's
don't we
still
send
within town
Noelle,
square.
who's weirdly excited about toys, to the toy store. Maybe we split up here and investigate the toy store and the coffin shop?
I'll head out to
Coffin shop is mine.
I'll head out to the stockyard and then to the inn, but I'll make my way back to the town square.
I more just meant that on the way to the stockyard, we have to pass the coffin shop anyways. Right?
I suppose. At
We're
the same
right here.
time, Rex might be able to find a place to use the magic again within that area to narrow the search down.
Yeah, I mean, we can go to the coffin shop. You can cast it there. See what that unveils, although...
Vivi is also going to tell the party about the guy's monster arm.
Yeah, Shiver already has figured that, but Shiver didn't get to see the arm, so no potentially asking Ryan for another roll.
Maybe we go to the toy store later. We've got time. We're not in a huge rush. So, Lily will go to the stockyard?
It's still... What time is it right now?
It's
after all this. Yeah, I assumed it was still early morning.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, we have all the time in the world. Maybe instead of separating, though, we can do one at a time.
Sure. I'm down to see what they consider toys. I've seen a lot of acorns.
Store, though. I think the coffin shop should be a priority over the toy store.
I mean, if we... I suppose we can hit up the coffin shop, go to the stockyard, and then on our way back, go to the toy store, then up to the inn.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Let's all go to the coffin shop. Let's all go to the coffin shop.
Well, let's
Let's
spend a
all go
minute
to the
outside and
coffin
have
shop and get ourselves a casket.
spend a minute outside the
Well-
coffin shop and let Rex use his ability.
While they're doing that, I'm going to try to find a safe place to use my ability.
It's a minute long. You're okay.
So you guys are headed up to the coffin shop.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So you do have to go through the town square to
Mhm.
get there.
Mhm.
That's where you want to go. Okay. So, the shops and homes that enclose the town square are decorated with limp, tattered garlands and painted wooden boxes filled with tiny dead flowers. At the north end of the square stands a row of stocks, locked in which are several men and women and children, plastered donkey heads. In the center of the square, peasants in patchwork clothes eye you suspiciously as they use cups and vases to draw water from a crumbling stone fountain. Standing tall at the center of the fountain is a gray statue of an impressive man facing west. All around the square are posted proclamations. Come one, come all, to the greatest celebration of the year, the Wolf's Head Jamboree. Attendants and children required. Pikes will be provided. All will be well. The Baron.
Is the Baron the Burgomaster, or is that a different person?
It's the same guy.
Okay.
You also see that this is not the first posting. There's postings underneath it.
Of different celebrations?
Yeah, exactly. There's another one here that looks the newest, and it says, "Come one, come all, to the greatest celebration of the year, the festival of the blazing sun. Attendants and children required. Rain or shine, all will be well. The Baron."
Why does he want to take the children?
I don't know. Let's ask questions later. Again.
You can see another one is the Festival of the Flower, and you think that's probably where these garlands of flowers hanging from boxes is from.
While walking by, you said there's like a bunch of like kids and people, stuff like that in the town square here.
Not too many kids, mostly people, like adults in patchwork clothing.
Do any of the kids help with carrying?
Like carrying water? Yeah.
While I walk by, just very quiet muttering and finger waggle says, "Their water still looks like water, but it tastes like juice." As I just pass on through.
Okay.
Vivi is going to have a permanent scowl on her face.
Yeah, you can see next to the stocks with the people with plaster donkey heads is a cart filled with rotting tomatoes for people to grab and throw if they want.
Oh, is somebody tied up? Or like bound?
Yeah, there's multiple people here bound.
Oh, hell
the
yeah.
stocks.
I grab a tomato.
I want to roll perception check. Roll.
Yeah.
2. Are any of the people on here the person that was being carried away before?
It is impossible to tell with the donkey heads on.
Yeah.
Is there a guard nearby?
Yeah, there are guards walking by. Every once in a while they pass.
I'd like to ask one of the guards what the crime is. Just so I know what to yell at them while I throw tomatoes.
Oh, yeah. The guard comes up and says, "It is for malicious unhappiness."
Ah, well, I'll tell you this much. This makes me happy, and I grab a tomato and hit one in the face.
He says, "Very good." And continues on.
Giving me scary flashbacks to We Happy Few. Everyone be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see as guards pass by, people put on smiles that they did not have on.
Just real fake smiles whenever guards pass
Yeah.
by.
Vivi does not.
We're new to town. I think they'll give us a bit of a break for at least a day. but let's focus on not aggravating them while we're guests at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
For
I
now,
want to prestidigitation. The illusion of a smile.
For now,
Which-
let's.
I
How's that?
Actually,
just
I
have
can
my
do.
mask up. I just have my mask up.
I think for that one you need minor illusion.
Actually,
It's a minor sensory effect, so technically,
yeah, you could create
That's
instantaneous,
why I'm-
harmless sensory effects,
Reminder:
such as a
illusions
shower
are
of sparks,
very
a puff of
discretionary.
wind, a faint musical note. I can also, until the end of my turn, but if I keep casting it, I can create a illusionary image that can fit in my hand, essentially. So it's just like kind of idea, just silly stuff.
Every step you take, it falls behind. But you can keep casting it, and it'll keep like reappearing where your face should be, and then you walk through it.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like that for now.
Okay.
I'd like to focus on how Brandon's thing is going.
Yeah, I'm going to try to find a place where I can stealthily do the.
I assume you're safe enough doing that in this area. Nobody seems to pay us much mind.
primeval awareness.
They don't seem to
Okay.
care about us.
You want to do primeval awareness?
Yeah,
Okay.
just do this. Get a more pinpoint in this area.
Sorry, specifically when we're in the center of the coffin area. Sorry.
Yeah,
You want to be near the coffin shop when you do it?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So you want to walk up to the coffin shop?
Yeah.
But they will be. I'll be outside of it, somewhere outside.
Okay. Yeah, so there's an uninviting shop here with 2 stories, and a sign hangs like a coffin above the front door. All the window shutters are closed up tight, and there's deathly silence around the establishment. You can, yeah, absolutely do your sense.
Yeah. Primeval awareness. Try to pinpoint exactly where the undeads are.
Yeah. You sense...
No one's in the house.
Yeah, we know there's 8 in here.
Yeah, undead.
Yeah, you sense 8 undead upstairs in this building.
In the like coffin building.
Yeah, in the coffin shop.
Oh.
Okay. Cool. Great. Well, we found that.
I'll
The
wait until the others
undead
come out.
from the Burgomaster's mansion or in that area.
I know where the one in the Burger.
You know where that one is. Yep.
Yeah,
That one has
because I
not
used-
moved. It's the same spot.
Okay.
And the ones to the north have also not moved.
Cool. So I think we need to go in here. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna send Edgar and Nevermore to go up to see if there's any cracks in any of the blocked up windows that they can look.
You fly around and there are none. It has been sealed tight.
Is the door closed tight as well, or?
The main door to the coffin shop? Yeah.
Yeah.
We can
Like
open
it's
it,
not blocked off or anything. It's a door. It doesn't have like bars over it or anything.
Okay. Is there any sign of like life or use, or is this building essentially been shut down for now?
It's hard to say without knocking.
I knock.
Okay. Yeah. So you hear a voice come through the door and says, "We're closed. Go away."
Sir, we just have a few questions.
I said we're closed. Go away. Leave me alone.
Sir? Just a few questions and we'll be out of your hair.
Plus, aren't you supposed to be happy?
I am very busy. I do not have time for questions.
Happy, apparently.
Well, I'm gonna try something here, and I'm gonna run this by the party quickly first.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think of the idea that we sort of like pretend that we heard him complaining about the celebrations, and we just say it a little bit loud enough he can hear us, but not loud enough the guards can hear us, just to sort of frighten him into listening to us.
I could do that. I'm good at a good intimidation.
Were the undead like they're all on like? Were they more in the back of the building or more towards the middle of the building? Do you think?
All
It's all over the top.
over the upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe we let Vivi try that. So, something along the lines of like, hey, did you guys hear what the guy in the coffin shop said? He said that the latest celebration was a dud. And then we just sort of say it loud enough so he can hear us, but not the guards, just because we don't want to get him in actual trouble yet.
Vivi will repeat that in a very intimidating way, aiming to her, like looking at the door and saying it more so towards the house than roll intimidation.
Go for it. You have advantage because you're working together. Either one of you
Okay.
can roll twice, or you can both roll.
I'll just let Matt roll twice, once with advantage.
I have a +5. Let me do it.
Yeah, there you go,
18.
All right. Let me just do something here.
Ooh.
All right. Leave me alone.
Should we repeat it a little bit louder?
Go away.
Okay, well, I
Don't
guess
really have a happy
that's not a happy tone.
I'm going to.
happy tone.
I'm
there.
gonna look over at Victor and go, should I mention the undead?
No, I think we should keep that to ourselves for now.
To Mother Night with your happy tone.
Oh.
Oh.
Anybody got really good?
I'm gonna go try and just open the front door.
Yeah, you rattle the doorknob and it's locked.
Is there a back door?
You can go around the building.
Yeah, I'll do a quick
Yeah,
gander.
go around.
You do find a side door in the back of the building.
And I take it there's not much guards in this area?
No, there's not too many guards in this area. Every once in a while, you do see one pass by in this main street. You're kind of in a small alleyway here.
Okay.
Edgar and Nevermore are going to do reconnaissance, and I'm gonna look through Nevermore's eye.
Reconnaissance of what, Matthew?
So that whatever you have planned for this
Make
side
sure no
door
guards are there.
Okay. Are any of us Nope, Brandon's a ranger, I'm a ranger. Are any of us rogues?
For what?
No. Who's got good sleight of hand?
Nope.
I have +4.
Pretty good.
I've got 3.
I have 5.
I got a 2.
Are any of us
Go,
proficient in
Goblin.
thieves' tools?
These tools? No, I do not.
No.
Noelle, you said you were pretty good at this. Did you want to try and jimmy the lock?
I can try.
I'm particularly pretty good at doing it too.
She's got a +5. What do you have, Brandon?
I have +5 too.
Sorry, you have the
I have
+5.
+4.
Yeah.
My apologies. I meant Rex. You're small and sneaky, and I sort of go to the end of the alley and sort of just like lean up and cover as much mass as I physically can, and I get my horse in there too. Just sit on my horse, blocking as much path as possible.
I'll give a constant, quiet report of where guards are, and
Guess I'd try to open the door.
Alright, what are you using to do it?
I imagine probably like sleight of hand to pick the lock or something.
Yeah, but like what? How are you gonna unlock it?
What do I have here?
I have a crowbar if you need it.
That will not be sleight of hand.
I have an entire cartographer's kit full of pens and pins.
I've got
I mean,
brewers
I have a
and
mess
glass.
kit. I can try to use like a fork.
I have a fork.
No, I have a mess kit.
Oh, I have an insane amount of utensils.
Could you not just use a dagger for a medieval lock?
That would be too big.
Yeah.
I've got this.
You could use my set of manacles.
Could I try? Could I try using an arrow, like a arrowhead?
No. That would
No?
also be too big.
I have an idea. Let's go to the stockyard. We'll come back. We'll come back with some thieves' tools.
Unless it's a armor piercing arrow, and then it wouldn't have any kind of. It would just be a round.
Yeah.
Why don't we come back
Okay.
with some thieves' tools? We'll pull the supplies and get those. We'll cut across the yard here to the stockyard, and then come right back.
Yeah. Well, I
I'm-
can buy. I can just buy them straight up. Right?
I know, we have to go get them, though.
Yeah.
I also
50 gold.
25.
Oh yeah.
That's if they're in the shops. I mean,
We have to try.
I want to open up or like show Rex my cartographer's tools, essentially being rulers, pens, whole bunch of different things to hold stuff down, stuff like that. General stuff for map making. Would there be anything of use in here? Because a lot of it is relatively small.
Yeah, you know those kind of sticks that have a joint in them, and they're used for drawing out a circle.
Yep.
Perfectly.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You think those might be usable
I could try using.
if you wanted to
these.
try? It would not be an easy roll.
Yeah.
Should
I think it might be best if I could just find some. Well, let's keep that as a backup plan for now. Let's try to find actual supplies for doing this. So, it might be a little easier. It'll be pretty costly, but we
You
can
would
reuse.
also, all of you know, that lockpicking tools are not something that's sold legally.
Oh.
yeah,
So I guess we just have to try these then, because...
yeah, okay.
Like,
guess
you
I'll-
could try and find some in the stockyard if you found a dirty merchant, but other than finding someone who's in the black market, you would be unable to just purchase
Mhm.
thieves' tools.
Yeah, I feel
Mhm.
like the person who would have these is probably up in the stocks right now for being unhappy. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll
You
try
know-
using. I'll try using the circle thing.
You say that, but sure, I'll let you have that. You say that, but most times people who are within that line of work tend to blend into society much better than you would think.
It's
17.
not bad.
You try finding someone.
So you cannot add your proficiency modifier to this.
Yeah, it's not. It's not a proficiency. It's just +5.
Okay.
I'm not proficient in sleight of hand.
And it is with disadvantage, so 15.
Oh. Okay.
But you are able to open the lock.
Thank God.
oh yeah.
So we're just gonna break and enter, right? Is that what's happening here? I feel like we're committing a crime.
You are absolutely committing a
yeah.
crime.
But I feel like this guy's also got zombies in his house, so I don't think we have a better option.
I believe that we are.
Who is good at stealth? Like, who's particularly good at sneaking around?
I'm
am
okay with it.
Okay at it.
+2.
I have +4.
+3.
I have +7. So
Ooh,
maybe
why don't
I
we just
go
open the
with-
door slightly and send the bird in?
I have a +7 to my stealth,
Alright.
and I'm really small.
Well, do you think we should send the bird in first, or do you want to go in by yourself?
I was going to say maybe I can just take a look inside.
Pretty sure the bird is magical, so if it dies, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
It's true.
Okay.
Let's send the
Let's
bird,
send
I
the
think.
bird in. Yeah.
I'm gonna send Edgar into the house.
Okay. Make a stealth roll for the
Okay.
bird. Make a stealth roll for opening the door quietly.
Don't fuck this up, Matthew. Don't fuck this up.
You want me to open?
Someone
the door?
else open
Yeah.
the door. Yeah, someone
Brandon,
else
open the door.
Yep. 25.
Okay.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's a nat
There's-
20.
There's no sound as this door is opened. You can see
I'm
a
11
dark
for my bird stealth.
beyond. You kind of shove the bird through the crack and close the door again. All right. So your bird is now
11 for
trapped
Ed-
in a dark room.
Yep.
Does it have dark vision?
No.
All right. Your bird is blind.
I'm gonna look through my bird's vision I have dark vision.
That doesn't apply to your bird, Matthew. That's not how that works.
Well, I'm gonna stop, like, return back and go. It's literally pitch black from there.
I mean, we could just light the building on fire.
I don't think that's gonna sit well with the guard.
No, but it'll deal with the undead in the building. But I feel like you're right.
Wait, hear me out. If we set the building on fire, but we pretend to be super happy about it.
What is your alignment again?
I'm neutral, I believe. Yeah.
Are you asking mine? Because mine's like
Yeah.
neutral good.
Yeah, I don't think you'd want to burn someone alive.
No.
No, not him. But I feel like, you know, I can use the excuse
I'm
of the building being on fire to go rescue him.
I'm chaotic good. I think I'd be down.
I mean,
considering
you're
I'm-
allowed to do whatever you want, but
I'm chaotic neutral.
As long as he doesn't die, I'm okay with the idea. I think is where I stand. As long as the human doesn't die, and the undead are sorted out. But I think, you know, at this point we've already broken, and I feel like that's already a crime. I can't imagine the difference in crime from breaking open the door and throwing a bird in there to us actually just entering at this point is a substantial difference.
1 second. Was the guy, like, did we actually see the guy?
No, he's just yelling at us.
He was just yelling at us, so we don't know if he's actually here.
That's fair.
So I want to use prestidigitation to make the sounds of knocking on the front door while we go in the side.
Aw, yeah.
what's the range on prestidigitation?
30 feet?
I don't know, actually. 10 feet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you definitely could not reach.
Even from being, like, at the front of the thing, use it, and then walk over.
I have an idea.
I'm gonna send Nevermore to the front door, and I'm gonna look at Shiver and go, she's gonna knock.
There you go. I was gonna use my horse, but your
That
your
would
birds-
work.
your
Because the
birds are-
knocking would end after 6 seconds, and you'd be standing like, right there, and then running around the corner. Like, you might as well knock yourself at that point.
Yeah, we'll send the bird. The
So-
bird can do like a woodpecker.
Or is it
Nevermore
like a
is
minute
going-
long? I don't know what the length of prestidigitation is.
Ah, sorry.
There's
Nevermore is-
actually,
Again,
it is a duration of 1 hour,
Oh, is it?
and stuff like faint musical notes, odors, harmless sensory like the sound of knocking doesn't have a set time limit, so it'd be knocking for an hour.
Yee.
God,
Okay.
that's
Really
cool.
until I stop.
That would suck.
That would really piss him off. Oh, that would be like the freaking meme where people like
Yeah, so you could do that if you wanted to. I take it back. I thought it only lasted 6 seconds.
So yeah, let's
No.
do that. Let's use magic to knock at the front door and circle on the side.
I can also just sneak in and just take a quick look.
Is your dark vision much better?
I have 60 feet, yeah.
I mean, we can have you take a gander, sure, but in the end, you'll probably want backup if you were gonna go. If you get into
Yeah,
the
no,
undead
I don't
here.
want to fight anything.
More so if you get caught in general, we need to react quickly and swiftly.
Yeah, I'll just take a peek inside, like.
So, real quick, pulling out a sheet of paper, I am did the Burgomaster's building have a emblem on it?
It did not.
Was there any defining emblem at any point, like in the building or anything like that?
No.
Never mind.
Let's try the knocking thing, and we'll also
Yeah.
send.
You know, you have seen the seal of the Burgomaster on those petitions
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
in the festivals. So I was just
Perfect.
trying to think of something you could use, because I know he doesn't have an emblem, but he would
Yeah.
definitely have a seal.
So, with this, on the paper, there is going to be essentially a warrant script with his emblem, the seal, proper seal size, in the corner of it. I'm going to hand it to Rex.
That might be another crime. I would maybe not.
Don't worry, it only lasts for about an hour. Then it disappears. No crime. It was never there.
That's not how crime works.
Oh, I think
No,
that's how crime works.
let's just do the knocking thing and
I liked your knocking idea because
Yeah,
it's also.
I mean, the paper I'm just giving as a insurance,
Oh,
not
sure.
as a use
okay.
this.
How many
Yeah,
uses of
okay.
prestidigitation can you have at once?
3.
Sure.
The writing, the symbol, and the knocking will be.
Now, illusions do not move.
It's just you make a color, a small mark, or a symbol appear on an object or a
Okay, on an
surface
object,
for
okay, good.
1 hour.
That would work then.
Yeah. Because it's on the object proper.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm playing a wizard. I'm going to have fun abusing the most overpowered spell in the game.
No, absolutely.
You know-
I just want to make sure it's done properly.
Until you end up
Yeah,
in combat, at which
100%.
point it's useless.
Because I don't want to make other spells irrelevant by accident.
Yeah,
'Cause there are
100%.
several variations of prestidigitation, minor illusion, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. And they all have kind of overlapping niches. Some have the
Also-
ability to move and not.
Keep in mind, anyone
Yeah.
can see through an illusion at like a very low DC check for prestidigitation. It's not hard to tell.
No, it's the caster's DC.
Yeah.
I know, but it's minor illusion is harder than that one. Like it's a substantially better illusion. That's all my point was.
Prestidigitation stuff,
It doesn't
for the
say
most
it, but
part,
all
isn't
of
an
it.
illusion.
It is. It is an illusionary effect. It is not. For the most part, if you're putting something on paper like that, that would be considered an illusion.
The thing is, I can also light fire on
Oh, I
my
know.
torch,
I know, but
which isn't.
putting something like that on that would be considered a illusion because it's in the school of illusion magic, Lily. Sorry,
It's transmutation.
wrong one. I was looking at the wrong spell. I feel like I mean, it's Ryan's discretion, but I know that I would run it as an illusion.
It
in that
actually
situation.
specifies illusion for some of the break. You create a non-magical trinket or an illusionary image. It's like I get to physically clean stuff, dirty it, mark things. It's transmutation.
Yep.
It's
You can
weird.
make those letters appear just by turning the page black in certain spots.
Ex-
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you could write like a full paragraph, but it's something small. In the end, it really
It's-
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you wanted like a full paragraph, I think that's illusory threat.
Yeah, there's a specific
Yeah.
spell for it, right? You gotta
Yeah,
be very
it's-
careful with prestidigitation because
But like
it
just
is.
a sentence warrant for blah blah blah,
Exactly.
then you could do that.
You just have to be very careful because there are tons of illusionary spells, and you don't want prestidigitation replacing all of them. 'Cause it is a cantrip.
It's not an illusionary spell though. It's
No, I know, but the way that Lily's using it is almost replacing illusionary spells, right? So you've just got to be careful on how strong you make it. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying be careful. It's a cantrip, remember?
You're perfectly fine to do that, Lily.
Yeah. So you have your backup. There's the knocking. I am currently out of what bullshittery I can do with my prestidigitation right now.
So you're actually doing the knocking, and you've made this note for
For Rex,
Rex.
as a failsafe.
And Rex is entering the building.
yeah,
With the
just
cover of the
like
knocking
5 feet
noise
just-
as part of the subtlety.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
Does Brandon get
Do I have
advantage because the
advantage?
knocking is distracting?
No.
No? Okay, 16.
16. Okay. Yeah, so you enter into this building, and you close the door behind you, or you leave it open?
I'll close it enough that there's no like light coming out, but I won't like fully close it.
Yeah, not gonna latch it. Okay. Yeah, so you enter into this building, and here you can see arranged haphazardly about the floor is a L-shaped room with 13 wooden coffins.
Okay.
Edgar, during the brief moment of light, is going
Yes, like find Rex, land on Rex, or get out.
Yeah.
Which one do you want? Do you want it out?
During the very brief moment of light, Edgar's gonna be on Rex's.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you feel this thing latch onto you, but because you have dark vision, you can kind of faintly see the outline of a bird.
Yep. I'm going to just quickly take a look upstairs, stealthily.
You see 3 doors at the bottom of this, at the south end of this room.
The south end?
Yep.
Okay. I'll just keep a note of it.
One of them is a west-facing door, the other 2 are south.
2 west and 1 south?
1 south. Or
1
sorry,
south.
2 south, 1 west,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just keep a note of everything that I see. Just scouting out the area, and then once I'm finished, I'll leave. I'll go back to the door and open it up again and leave, and tell everybody what I see.
Okay. You tell him about the L-shaped room filled with 13 coffin.
Yeah, and the doors.
In the doors. And there are also windows in that room, but they're all boarded up from the outside and inside.
So, do you guys want to go in?
Did you happen to find the gentleman?
The guy? No.
Is he just ignoring the knocking?
Are you... Is anyone... No, never mind. No, you didn't hear the gentleman.
Interesting.
So maybe he's upstairs? So, what do you guys want to do?
I would like to get rid of the undead, but I will leave that up.
Do we want to make an enemy of this man right now?
So far, don't really care for him. Especially if he's holding the undead secretly.
Yeah.
Thinking about this, we shouldn't do this in the cover of day.
Yeah, we would definitely come back at night.
I don't think it'll make much of a difference from my side. Once we're inside the building, it'll be equally subtle either way.
Yes, but us leaving a building after causing a scene is much more, relevant, while there's looks out of the alley, an entire town square full of people.
I just have a sneaking suspicion that we're going to get seen either way.
You are off the main square by a little bit, but the main square is relatively close.
I'm more than willing to come back at night. I just know that I'm more comfortable dealing with the undead if there's some of them that are more of a problem during the day. Either way is fine, though.
Well, let's quickly scout out the ones in the north. I want to get a more pinpoint location of where they are.
Well, let's go to the stockyard first. We know that the
Yeah.
undead are in the coffins, probably in this shop. We know that there's a guy in the burgomaster's. Let's go to the stockyard quickly, because I believe that Shiver wanted to go sell some stuff.
I do.
Yeah, while you guys do that in the stockyard, I'll quickly go up to the other area that I've sensed them, and I'll just try to get a more pinpoint location on where they are.
You're gonna split off from the rest of the group?
Yeah, I'm just gonna use my ability up here to find a more pinpoint locations on where the undead are.
Okay. Cool.
The knocking stops, but Bren now, for the next hour, has a warrant.
Yeah. As you
We'll keep
guys
it
are
moving.
going back to the front of the building onto the main road, continuing along the main road, you hear sliding furniture by the door.
The door we just left?
Yep. Not the door you just left, but the main door, where the
Okay,
knocking is
okay.
coming from.
Interesting.
Like he might be barricading him in from the knocking, himself in.
Yeah. Oh, I will give Victor 25 gold and see if he can find me somehow maybe find me a set of thieves' tools.
Yeah,
If you can.
I'll absolutely take a gander, see what I can find for you.
Yeah, or anything that would be useful for picklocking.
Absolutely. Are you two going to the toy store then, or?
I'm
I'm
going
going to the
up.
stockyard.
I mean,
I'm
look,
going up to find a more pinpoint thing.
why
more
don't you just
pinpoint
wait for us? We're
location.
not going to be long at the stockyard. It'll be like a minute or two.
Yeah, but it gets rid of 2 burns with 1 stone.
Okay.
The 15
Toy
minutes
store-
apart, maximum distance
Toy-
in this town.
Yeah,
We reconvene at the toy store.
sure.
Okay. Yeah. So
Just
we'll
saves a little bit of time.
start with Rex first. So Rex, you
Yeah.
go back through the town square, up the north to south road, to the middle of town, and then up towards where that circle area is. Where do you want to use your ability?
Did they tell us where, like, the actual house of where the
It would have been pointed
The
out by
nobles?
the.
Okay, I'll go near the noble's house, maybe like the other side of the street
Yeah.
from the noble's house,
Okay.
and use it around there.
Yeah, so you spend some time using this ability, and once it takes effect, you feel that it is coming from this house. A large number of them being underground.
Underground?
Yeah.
Of the noble's house?
Yeah.
A large number of them? Okay. But are there some of them actually inside the house?
I'm checking right now. Because I don't remember. All of them are underground.
All of them are underground?
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. After I find out my information, I'll head over to the toy where I'll reconvene with the others.
Okay. Everyone else, you head towards the stockyard, and you've seen this before. It's a large stockyard, has a number of sheds lying around everywhere for storage. People can rent them and store their things here. Now, during the day, there's a elderly man and a woman kind of in the middle, and they're kind of at a desk where you can approach.
I approach.
Wait, this is Brandon right now, right? Or back to the second?
No, this is you guys now.
Okay, sorry. Brandon found out that the monsters are all underground?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
There's also the carnival wagon that was here yesterday as well.
In the stockade now. Cool. Or in the stockyard.
Stockyard, not the stockade.
Yeah, stockyard.
I
stockade.
approach.
The stockade's in the town square.
Yes. Lily approaches.
Lily approaches.
Yeah. You can see the elderly man looks you up and down and says, "How can I help you there?"
I have some materials that I'd like to sell.
Sure. I'll see if there's anything I need in here.
I'd like to present him with 10 hunting traps.
I have the direwolf pelt and 12 of their fangs.
He says, "I don't have much use for the fangs, but the pelt will fetch 50 copper."
Money's money.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Then the second thing, I'll pull out like a copy of the map that I've made here without with it has a few of the marks on here being like, if I were to give you guys or get you guys a cleaned up version of the map here, would there be anything that you could give me for something like this?
He looks it up and down and says, "Maybe. We don't have mini maps here in Korea." I don't know that I'm the one you'd want to sell it to. Mostly I just sell general goods.
Well,
And we don't really have too many outsiders.
that is true, but I do know that there are a couple of outer towners that are soon to be taking up residence here, and I have a growing collection of maps. I may be an outsider, but I'm a traveler and a cartographer by trade, so at least could you point me in the direction of where I could go?
I think that you'd be better off selling these in another town. But let's see. Maybe I can trade you for it.
So I'm going to remove the pelt and put in the 50 copper.
Mm-hmm.
Did he have any response to my idea of these 10 hunting traps?
Oh, do you actually try and sell those?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, he says, oh, these are always very high in demand. Yes.
How much can we get for 10 of them? They're worth 5 gold each for context, so probably
Yeah.
like half.
Yeah, he's gonna say 2.5 gold.
What do you think, Shiver? Should we sell it for the 25?
2.5 gold each?
Yeah.
Or, well, I have the 4 that I have.
And I have the other 6, so.
Sell your 6. I'll hold on to my ones. They'll come in handy.
Sure, I'll take 15 gold.
Yeah.
On that note, is anyone here looking shady?
No, no one here looks too shady.
Is there anything that I think could be Jimmy rigged into being a?
So there's like no counter where all of the stores are kind of held. He just kind of like goes into one of these sheds, opens it up, pulls whatever you ask out, and then hands it to you. There's not really like a viewing area.
Yeah.
Sure. I believe I still have 1 left from my background. Other than that, I'm out. I ask him. I'll be like, "Hey, I recently got locked out of my house. Do you have anything that would help me? Like, can you make keys or anything like that?"
He scratches his chin, and looks to his wife and says, "Hey, Yelena, that weird guy, hasn't come back in 6 months. Yeah, no payment." And she says, "Yeah, that's right. We could see if he has anything in his shed."
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So she
Sounds
goes over
intriguing.
and unlocks it, and comes back with a black cloak wrapped up, and she unfolds it, and inside is 2 vials, 2 daggers, and a crowbar, and a lockpick set.
That might be perfect for the next time I get locked out. I tend to be very forgetful. How much for the picks, I guess?
He'll look at them, and let's where they are. Where are
Are you looking at Thieves Kit?
they? Yeah, I'm looking for it.
I believe it's 25.
25.
Yeah.
All right. So he looks at the stuff and he says, let's see. I could sell you this for 125 gold."
125 gold. Dang. Would that be for all of it or just the one piece?
Just the lockpick kit.
Yeah. I don't know if the wife would let me get away with paying 125 gold for my forgetfulness.
And he looks at his wife and he says, "I know that feeling," and she hits him.
I chuckle and I go,
Nice.
"Any way you could go lower? Like, I've got 32 gold on me. That's all I have."
He kind of bobs his head and he says, 32 gold and the map. Yeah, okay. I could do that.
I look over at Shiver.
Uh,
Trying to get your input on this.
allow me some time to create a copy, but I suppose I can pass for that.
It's a deal then.
So
I'll even throw in one of whatever this is, and he hands he hands the bottle over to you as well.
cool. So I'll give you the money now, and we'll come back with the map after. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay, and we can take the pics for now, though, right?
We got the vials. You said
He handed one vial over.
one vial.
So I'll remove
So-
32 gold from my inventory. Oof. And I'll add a set of thieves' tools and a vial.
Welcome to the life of 0 gold.
So I am going to reduce.
There's the cat. That's why I couldn't find them.
1 second. Give me a second. This one is made on paper, but I can make one on parchment. The better quality material, would that reduce the cost a little bit on my companion's end?
I do not think so.
That's fair. With that being the case,
I would use the cheaper material if I were you.
yeah. So I will remove some paper and
I am already selling it at a loss.
no, 100%. I would like to excuse myself for a moment.
Yeah.
Walk away, mutter something to myself, casting detect magic on myself, and I want to walk back.
What?
You want to cast detect magic on yourself?
Essentially casting detect magic,
Okay.
because Shady, I'm just saying, is centered around me for the next 10 minutes.
So you just want to be able
Yeah.
to see if things are magical. Okay. And I was like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Checking if you're magical? You would know this.
No. You.
Can you read detect magic to me? Just so I know absolutely for certain.
You
For
see
sure.
the auras.
For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic. And you learn its school of magic, if any. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but it is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Okay. Yeah, you sense
And then I'd like to walk around the stock
2
yard a bit.
sources of magic. Both of them coming from inside the wagon.
Can we see?
Rick Fabio's Carnival of Wonders wagon.
Interesting.
Okay.
Is the vial
Interesting.
anything interesting, or is it just?
The vial is not glowing.
Oh. Huh. Can I smell it?
Yeah, you can smell it. It has no smell.
Is it? What color is it?
Green. Greeny white.
Cool. I assume it's poison. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just put
I was gonna
vial
say,
in my
can I
inventory.
survival check it to see if it's...
That'd be
What do the knives look like?
They're like flamberge type knives.
Are they more different than my knives?
Yeah, so you know those wavy bladed swords?
Yeah.
Kind of like that. But they have a pretty basic handle and hilt.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Oh, so they're a Cree.
show-
Yeah, they are.
Neat.
I'm gonna look at one of my knives, which has like the emblem of like the Raven Queen on it, and be like, "You want to just swap one for one?"
Yeah, you're saying that to the stockmaster?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, he says, sure, they look about the equal value.
Cool.
Ryan, does an 18 tell me what type of poison this is, so I can add it to my inventory?
Yeah. Yes, it would. So you dip your finger in it. You taste it a little bit.
Oh,
Not enough to harm you.
I gag a little.
Yeah. And you do know what poison this is. What was the survival check there?
18.
18.
No. Oh, that was for the poison?
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. So this is the Where is it? Midnight Tears.
Midnight Tears. Thank you. I will add it to my inventory.
You
Perfect.
should be able to find that on D&D.
I did already.
Okay.
Also, what kind of magic?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I learned of these.
I just have to find the spell. Let's see.
Ooh, neat.
I would like to point out I named one of my daggers Wavy Dagger.
Kriss, I believe is how you spell it. It might be one S or it might be two.
Okay, so this is an abjuration.
Both of them?
Yeah.
What does the abjuration focus around again?
Abjuration is the school with
Abjuration and
shields,
stuff like
mostly shields and stuff like that.
That. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
It's like warding off. It's like warding things off.
yeah, a lot of support stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh god. Our one circle disappeared.
Well, you know where that one is, so I was gonna get rid of it.
Yeah.
We also know where the other one is too.
Yeah, I can't seem to select that circle.
It's not letting me do it either.
There we go. Found it.
And we
We
just
also
know that.
know the one up top, so yep.
Oh, do we know exactly where that one was?
Yeah, you do.
Now we do know, yeah. That's where I went.
Is it under the house or what?
Yeah, it's underneath. But you guys don't know that yet.
Just vaguely underground.
Can you get just move the 1, 8, and 21 above each one of the areas?
Yeah,
I
can do
can't
that.
move them for some reason.
Because he put the. So I assume after are we done at the stockyard?
I'd say we're done.
As much as I'm intrigued by those magic items you mentioned, I don't think we really have any pull to get those.
No, not at all. Also, I hadn't mentioned the magic items yet. I would mention it once we leave, being like, so the elf there seems to have some abjuration magic inside of his wagon, so I'd expect it's most likely an anti-theft mechanism.
Maybe.
You kind of see the shape of it, so you would know it's not on the door. It seems like two small cylinders
Interesting.
from the glow. Yeah.
Interesting.
We will have to inquire further.
Knowledge Arcana wouldn't tell me anything more.
You
So
probably
No, I
need to
wouldn't.
see them. I think.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think we leave that. We go to the toy store because that's where we told people we'd meet them, right?
Yep.
All right. So you guys head back the way you came, west, passing through the stockyard. You can see more guards. This time you actually see the large man with the axe traveling back towards Ismark and Irina's, but he's holding a door,
He's putting a new door on for them.
and you see him heading southward.
Goofy.
How far away from him do I get while walking?
How far away from him do you get?
Yes, because I actively still have detect magic. Anything magic within 30 feet of me. So if I see him, I'd like to try inching towards him. Enough.
Yeah. You don't see any magic on him.
Interesting.
Make a perception check.
Right.
Though, 'cause you are specifically looking at him.
Sure.
Ryan,
Mm-hmm.
how is his right arm covered?
By his cloak. It's barely covered. Anytime he swings his arm, it.
Oh
comes off.
god. What? I can't roll good ever.
I would like to send Edgar flying into his cloak so that it pulls up so it reveals.
We can see it.
Okay. So you want Edgar to fly up, grab his cloak, and fly up so it reveals his arm?
I want Edgar to fly into like in his front to like slam into the cloak, so it pulls the cloak back. So it
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
sort
a
of
terrible
think
idea, but I'm gonna
a bird in a bed sheet.
Yep. Absolutely.
pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
Roll initiative.
Your bird flies up and grabs his cloak, and he whirls around and
Mhm.
slams his fist into your bird.
Cool.
Uh,
Is the bird dead?
Probably.
Oh, 100%.
It-
If he takes a single point of damage, he dies.
you can see it in all of its mutated red taloned glory. As he slams his fist into this bird, you can see sparks of fire come off of it. And your bird takes 12 points of damage.
And
Yeah,
you're
he
telling me that this
disintegrates.
arm isn't magic.
It's a body part.
It
don't-
you sense magic in this way. You can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object.
All right, so he himself is glowing, like his whole body. Then.
Yep. I'll be blinking a bit and then sort of like turn and walk away and like being as nonchalant about what I have just seen.
Yeah, I didn't know that did creatures too.
Yep.
Yeah, it does creatures.
To be fair, they don't really fall under schools of magic, so you don't really know exactly what about it.
I would know the type of magic that's affecting him.
He's not affected by magic.
Essentially, if it is a type of magic, it tells
Like he
me.
doesn't have a spell cast on him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Any
inherent
visible
to
creature
him.
or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any.
Yeah,
So,
so if it doesn't have a school, you don't know it, right?
exactly. It is a non-schooled, but he himself is magical, and that is, oh god.
Not great news.
Well, guys, I think I did a good job in revealing he does fire damage.
How late are we going tonight?
We can stop whenever you want, Ryan.
Because I can keep going, but I'm on night shift next, so.
I think we should go to the toy store and then stop probably after that, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Sure, yeah, I'm down for that.
Sounds good. Because I just looked at the time.
Yeah. I was hoping
Is
to
there
kill some
anything
things,
magic
but-
in the toy store?
10 minutes on that one?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it would wear off by the time you get there.
That is
but-
fair.
Rex, you've been at the toy store for a little while, and your friends haven't shown up.
They haven't shown up?
Not yet.
Okay, I'm just
I
gonna.
should already be there.
Oh, did you go straight there?
Yeah.
I
was
thought
at-
you went with
to the
everybody.
toy store.
Okay,
I was not with the other people.
my bad. I didn't know
so I
that.
didn't talk.
I'm still
I-
waiting outside of the toy store.
I must have missed that part.
Zoe, don't forget that you're on push to talk and you've been forgetting to push consistently.
That is
That might have done it. All right,
Push
yeah.
talk
So
is
you've
your
been
friend,
there
but
for
only
a
when you
while.
push.
Did you go in right away?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll start with you then before we get everyone else there. Yeah. So you're standing in front of this toy store and it's very colorful. You can see colorful stuff everywhere. You see a cramped shop. It has a dark entrance portico, above which hangs a wooden sign shaped like a rocking horse, with a bee engraved on both sides. Flanking the entrance are two arched lead-framed windows. Through the dirty glass, you can see jumbled displays of toys hanging placards bearing the slogan, "Is no fun, is no Blinsky."
I love it. Can I live here?
So you open the door and you see kind of a portly man dressed in purple and green motley clothes. He's got a goatee, you know, the kind that goes from the lip, mustache, all the way down to the chin and back up again,
Ooh.
but doesn't have any of the sideburns attached to that. And he's got a floppy jester's hat. Sitting on his shoulder is a small monkey,
Oh my goodness.
and he's kind of like sitting on the counter with his head in his hand, kind of whistling to himself. And then he sees you open the door and he says, "Welcome, welcome." This is
Hello.
Blinsky's toy store. I am Gadolf Blinsky. How can I help you?
Hi. Well, I heard there was a toy store in this area, and I've never been to one.
Well,
I
you're in
just
luck.
feel like
I
I got
make
some
the
bad
best toys in all of Barovia. And of course, is no fun, is no Blinsky. So you want to get Blinsky toy?
Yes, please.
Well, what kind of toy are you looking for?
Um.
Oh, I almost forgot my slogan. Welcome, friends, to the House of Blinsky, where happiness and smiles can be bought at bargain prices. Perhaps you know a little child in need of joy, a little toy for a girl or boy.
That was
I don't-
adorable.
That is adorable. That is adorable. Thank you for such a warm welcoming.
I am always happy to serve.
Well, I've never been to a toy shop. Um, do you have anything? Sounds a little bit weird. Do you have anything explosive?
Explosive.
Like,
I do not think I should be selling explosives to little ones.
like, like
Let me
sparks,
take
like
a look.
sparkles.
Please hold Piccolo. And he hands you the monkey, and the monkey kind of like scampers up your arm into your shoulder and kind of ruffles up your hair.
Oh my goodness.
And Blinsky kind of goes over to the shelf. Uh, and yeah.
I've never
He
seen a
hands
monkey.
you 2 grenades.
Fireworks, sparkles, sparklers.
He kind of goes over to the shelf, pulls up a doll. And you can't really see over his shoulder unless you want to watch him work.
I would love to watch him work. This is
Okay,
interesting.
so you see the first doll he pulls up is headless and comes with a sack of attachable heads, including one with its eyes and mouth stitched shut. The next toy he pulls up is a miniature gallows, complete with a trap door and a hanged man. The next toy is a set of wooden nesting dolls. The smaller each one gets, the older it gets, until the innermost doll is a mummified corpse. A
Oh
wooden
my
string
God.
mobile of hanging bats with flapping wings.
Ooh.
A
At least-
wind-up musical merry-go-round with figures of snarling wolves chasing children in place of prancing horses. He also pulls up a ventriloquist dummy that looks like it has black long hair and a long black draped cloak with a royal purple tunic. And the other one he pulls up is a doll that looks remarkably like Irina Kolyana.
Ooh.
Um,
Um.
and he finally pulls up a small cube with a metal lever attached to the side of it.
What does that do?
Oh no! I know exactly what this is.
And he says, "I found it." And he holds up the cube to you.
What does it do?
You pull the lever, you spin the lever, and it makes sound, and then poof, explosive.
How much is it?
Let's see. This one is one of my more articulate pieces. Uh, maybe 9 silver.
I'll take it.
Then it is yours, little one.
That
Thank
is
you.
expensive toys.
You like these toys, eh?
I didn't have many toys as a kid.
Well, that's just no good.
I know.
Everyone deserves to have toys.
Well, yeah, I guess they do.
I only wish to be as good as Von Werg in the future.
Well, you are a very kind man. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Oh, how much is that doll?
Which one?
Is it the the one that looks like our friend?
Irina.
Irina.
The one of the women, yes? She is not for sale. She is already purchased, I must say.
Oh. Okay.
Isaac, he buys them.
Oh. What does? Is it just a doll, or does it do something?
It's just a doll. He is very specific about what they look like.
Oh. Strange. Cool. Would it be okay if I wait here? I have some friends that are coming by.
You are very welcome to wait here. Please. Piccolo never gets much company, not since he was given to me by Rictavio.
Lovely, thank you. What is he?
He's a monkey.
What's a monkey?
That. I had never seen one before now either.
Oh, cool. I shall.
Not since the carnival man came through.
Huh. That man is very interesting. All right, I guess I'll just wait for my friends. Thank you for such great help.
He says, if you like, he knows tricks. And he begins to like show you tricks that Piccolo knows. At this point, a couple minutes later, you guys all arrive at the toy store.
I want to go into a side alley and cast Detect Magic as a ritual. So 11 minutes later, I walk in.
Okay, so everyone else is already.
Do we see the doll?
Yeah, you can look inside and start looking at the toys, and you would see them all. And he
So I would
greets
see
you
the doll
with
that looks
his,
like our friend?
he greets you with his customary greeting.
Okay, so we see the Irene doll or whatever her name.
Yeah, you would.
We would see the doll of what's her name?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Vivi is going to look at the doll and go, "That's a particular looking doll."
That is what your friend was telling me. I assume you are the ones the young lady.
Ryan,
What was that? You cut out?
Yes.
Ryan, the dummy you described, what is it? Do we recognize that description?
The dummy I described?
Yeah.
The
purple?
ventriloquist?
No, not anyone you've seen before.
It's not anyone we've seen on art or anything anywhere?
You know what? On the money that you have seen handed to you, you've seen the face of this dummy.
Can we put together who it is?
Yeah, you could. You would guess that this is probably Strahd von Zarovich.
I look at the party. I'm
Sick.
broke, but can somebody buy this so we can mock him in person with it?
I'm going to look. Could you tell me more about this doll? The
Which
doll
one,
of what's her name?
I
Of
read
what's her names?
Yeah, yes, I can. It's very odd to have so many people in. It's very nice. Yes, this doll is a doll of a young lady that a customer asks for. Every once in a while, he comes in, buys, orders new doll, and comes and picks it up.
Do you
Always
know where
same
this,
lady.
Who,
Do you know
who
where this
is this
person lives?
customer?
Isaac Strosny. Not my favorite kind of person, but eh.
Do
we
you know where he lives?
I'm going to quickly go over to Rex and
No, he
like
heard.
shrink down to his height and whisper in his ear, "I'm going to distract him. Steal it."
Why?
Cause I'm
Let's not steal from
concerned.
this guy.
You're
He
just committing
is
a
a doll
crime.
that was specially made to look like the woman we
Yeah,
just
but he-
escorted.
It was a custom order. He didn't.
It was a custom order from someone, from the person. I'm asking, do you know where this person lives?
Yeah, he lives with the burgomaster.
What does he
He's,
look like?
The one that he sends to do all of his jobs.
The big guy.
Yes, the big one. the bald head and the mean face.
He might be.
I'm immediately going to realize that. Well, no, I didn't see him walking back.
We did. But
Yeah.
also, I don't think it's a problem. He's creepy, but I don't know if we really have,
But he's been ordering them for a while.
Yeah, that's weird. It is weird.
AKA, he knew her before she even came to the town.
Yeah,
Maybe
absolutely.
he fancies her.
Vivi's very much going to make a very private conversation with Rex, going, I want you to steal it. I'm distracting him.
I don't want to steal from this man. If we're going to get it, I will buy it.
Good luck.
It is not for sale.
Oh yeah, it's not for sale.
That, to be fair, one doesn't know that. Two,
Yeah.
secret conversation.
He would have heard that it was specially made for him, therefore
Yeah.
the
To be
odds
fair-
of he would know that it's probably not.
Matt's saying he's being secretive. How secretive is Brandon being? Right?
Well, I'm still whispering, yeah.
Also,
So
gonna
you
be
wouldn't want to
open
say,
this
I
door.
don't want to steal from this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna open the city.
I assumed you weren't
Yeah.
that open about
Stage
it.
whisper.
also, how big is this store? Let's be fair here.
Small.
Yeah, whispering does not negate the fact that other people can hear you in a small store.
He's kind of telling Piccolo to do things for.
That's great, but I think we're all standing
Noah.
next to each other, so I'm pretty sure we can all hear the conversation.
Let me know when I can enter the scene. And
Yeah, you're in now.
Sure.
We already entered, Lily.
I assume everything is normal,
Yeah.
or is there
No
any
magic.
magic? Sure.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'm interested in here is that dummy, so that when we go to Strahd's castle, we can make fun of him.
How much for the dummy?
That one is 9 silver.
I'm broke, though. And I look over at, Rex,
I'll
I'm
buy
like,
it.
hey, Rex.
I can pay it.
I can pay it. I can pay it. It's fine.
2 customers in one day. I am having good fortune. And he takes the ventriloquist dummy and he wraps it up in a parcel for you.
Looking
Is it
forward to
9 silver?
sassing Strahd with this. Thank you.
You said 9 silver?
Yeah, 9 silver. What did you say, Zoe?
Are there not that many children in this town?
Not too many buy toys here. There are children here, but
I imagine they're strapped for cash.
I don't know. I'm trying to make the place a happier place, but not too many folks are willing to spend money on toys.
How do you
It is a
find,
very sad thing.
how do you find the taxation here?
It is affordable for the most part.
Okay.
It's gotten higher over the past few years with the festivals.
I bet. Those couldn't be cheap.
It is not easy to stay afloat.
Well, if I had
Ryan?
more, I'd give it to you.
Go ahead.
How much feet is between the door and the counter where the doll is?
How many feet between the door and the like 10?
Okay.
Why are you so obsessed with this doll, Matthew?
I don't like it.
It's just a creepy doll. It's not the end of the world, buddy.
Creepy doll is all I need to be incentivized to steal.
Again, it's not the doll that you should be worried about.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
the
more
guy that
concerned about the
wants
Ezek.
doll.
Vivi's concerned about both.
The doll is not magic.
That doesn't mean it can't be magical.
I mean,
It isn't
He also,
magic.
he
No-
also
no,
had,
well- would know because she was talking to Blinsky earlier that this is not the first doll he's bought,
Yeah.
and he told you this as well, and it's all of the same woman.
So there's like several more of these. So I don't know if.
he already has several more.
He's got quite a few more.
Let's go outside.
Okay.
Let's go outside.
Yeah.
But you're
V-
perfectly able to do what you want to do.
As VV or whoever opens the door, Nevermore is going to take off from my shoulder, fly to the counter, grab the doll, and fly out.
Can I use a reaction to stop this?
It has flyby.
I do not care. It cannot fly.
Then no.
I have a crossbow. 30 feet, right?
Yeah, you could shoot the bird if you want.
I have 60 feet of movement.
Okay, I have a 100
So-
foot range.
If the bird flies straight up
So-
out the door, you wouldn't be able to shoot it.
100 foot range.
Yeah, that's the point.
You'd
Door
have to,
frame.
you'd
If
have
I
to
fly
exit
up-
the, yeah.
That's like 10 feet. I can move 30
Yeah.
feet and then shoot it.
But if I fly, how tall is the building we're in?
It's about 12 feet tall.
I can get around the building.
You're welcome
So,
to commit a
bird
crime, but know that I am
Flies up,
not okay
grabs
with
the doll, flies out of the store.
Man, it's so nice.
And
I'm going to immediately start going. I am so sorry. I'm going to get this back for you as soon as and as a form of deception.
Okay, yeah, roll deception. Blinsky reaches out and he's like, no, my doll.
Blitzky sees me whip out my crossbow ready to shoot this fucking bird.
If he fails, can I smack him?
Nat 20.
Thank God.
Nat 20 for deception.
Yeah, so he's like, yes, please get that back for me. It is important that I do not, it's not late.
I chase the bird with my crossbow ready to shoot it out of the sky still.
I'm gonna call Petra and I'm gonna try to grab the bird.
What's the movement of Petra?
It's 40 feet, but if I dash with Petra, 80 feet.
60 feet. So at the moment, Nevermore is just dashing.
Reminder, Matthew, Brandon has a bow.
Yeah.
This is true, and I'm basically, once we get out of the shop, I'm going to go. I need it for like 10 minutes.
Why?
I need it for like 10 minutes, okay?
Explain yourself before you steal from people. Explain right now.
I'm going to start heading towards the place that we left the siblings at. And I'm going on the way to explain I want to provide proof to them that this is happening and how
We could have
weird
just told
this is.
them.
They trust us. We brought them
Proof.
here.
It's better with proof.
I mean, tell
We're
them if
willing
they
to-
don't
It's going
believe us,
right back.
then commit a
It's
crime.
going right back. It's going right back. Just give me 10 minutes.
You're still committing a crime.
They don't know that. Moving on.
Imagine if that didn't go well for you. Just for a second. Would it not have made more sense to go talk to them first if they didn't believe us, then come back and do what you just did?
Or,
Or
just
bring them here.
to the store. Bring them to the store.
You
The
It could have
man,
not been here, okay?
the man
I
will
was thinking-
The man will what?
reach into the bag.
He feels sand. Do you want to see something fun?
Yes.
Sure.
Now, I close the bag, twirl my finger underneath it, open it up, still sand, but now it's rainbow.
He claps his hand and says, "This is a wonderful trick. Do you perform for the children?"
I'm definitely doing what I can to keep people's spirits up as I go. Well as walking by. Actually, it's better to show you than to anything.
So
Can you bring me some water?
Victor, Rex, and Vivi are running out of the shop, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yup.
chasing
I'm
the bird.
Shivers hang it. No.
I'm in the air with my bow ready to shoot the bird.
Yep.
You know, I would have explained once we were outside the shop that I am giving it back. I wanted to bring it to her to like.
Does Vivi at least acknowledge that this was a dumb decision when we could have just brought her to the store?
100% BB will be like, yes, but like, what if it was gone by the time she showed up?
We could leave our allies here. It's a minute walk from here. Our allies could have stayed here and we could have left and came back.
You're putting this man's life in danger, probably, for stealing it. Let's just bring it back to him.
I'm giving it back in like 10 minutes.
No, let's give it back to him right now and just bring her
10
here.
minutes!
We don't need the proof.
It's fine. He's already stole it. He got away with it. It's too late now.
In fact, I'm going to fly over. I'm going to fly. Max speed.
Rex. It's fine.
Well, I can just tell them.
At this point, the crime has already been done. He got away with it. We don't need, like, we can bring it back. It's fine at this point. It's just that was unnecessarily risky.
I found it necessary at the time. Didn't think it through.
Clearly. You are getting a good old-fashioned scolding from the oldest person in the group.
I have a wisdom of 13. I find this.
Wisdom 13 is above average, reminder.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm.
Okay. Just throwing it out there. I continue to scold you as we walk back to the house.
Yep. I have this very, like, I feel accomplished look on my face the entire time.
Are Noelle and Shiver following eventually?
No, I'm sitting in the store. I'm just fapping about. I'm doing my own thing.
Yeah, you guys are just hanging out in the store talking to Blinsky.
I have asked Blinsky to essentially get me some water. So at that point, I'm like, do you have a flavor that you want?
I do not have any particular tastes, no. Do
Well,
do
how-
chocolate?
Chocolate? Yes. Wave my hand over the water before handing it to him. Enjoy your drink.
And he takes a sip.
It tastes like chocolate.
This is the best. You are my new friend, and he like grabs you and puts you in a bear hug.
I'll let out a bit of a like squeaky toy squeak before hugging back, gently patting him on the back, be like, ow, 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 ow.
Can I join in the hug?
Yeah, he'll grab you too.
Jesus.
He's got some reach.
Back to the group that's, productive.
The
Always intoxicated.
The one with the scolding going on to the...
group heading south. You see, the door is sitting off to the side, leaning against the entryway. And you come inside. You can see some of the furniture has been flipped over.
Before we enter the house,
smashed.
sorry, can I ask Vivi to hide the doll just in case, what's-his-face is in here? We saw him going this way. Please hide the doll.
Absolutely.
Some of the furniture is flipped over and smashed. And you can see cinders and burning embers in some corners of the room.
Okay.
Are they here?
And there's no one here.
Fudge.
No
And-
one? Not at all? Okay, I don't regret stealing this at all.
That didn't do anything! You just committed a crime and didn't solve anything!
I got away with it, okay?
The crime still happened and it didn't help anyone.
I would like to point out the fact that, regardless of your shenanigans, I made a friend.
You did make a friend.
Until that friend realizes that your friend actively stole from him.
I mean, I didn't actively steal from him.
You didn't stop him.
I didn't have anything to. I decided to just stay there and become friends.
Flyby is amazing, okay?
Nonetheless,
Flyby is dumb.
it's great, right up to the moment that you realize that I can still shoot your bird out of the friggin' sky.
Yep.
Your bird,
Line of sight dependent.
sure, but then the next time I see that bird ever, I could just shoot it at that point, and we are
Yeah,
a party
I can-
after all.
I can also just fly after the bird.
Yeah. Flyby is
Bird
good,
can
I'm not
do
gonna
that,
fight you on
yeah.
this. But it's not the
Bird
end all be
does
all.
outfly you.
Brandon has a bow. That bird has to move hard.
I mean, additional 40
Yeah, I
feet
wouldn't be
per
able to. I wouldn't
round.
be able to run away from Brandon very easily, but Gavin, fairly.
You could bob and weave, but then you know what happens? If I ever see your bird again, I kill it. Just remember. Then your bird's not allowed within 100 feet of the party ever again. If I really wanted.
I mean, I literally control my bird. You would know that at this point.
Oh, I realized that. So I guess you're right. I should take my aggression out on you instead.
Oh, 100%. That was all me.
Good to know. So instead of your bird getting shot out of the sky, I just shoot you in the face.
No, that's not how that works.
That's what I took from that conversation just now, Matthew.
Yeah, that's what I took from. You're the one that's controlling it, so it's not your bird's doing, it's your doing.
Great. So I'll be sure to make a map for PvP next time.
You might need to if Matt's going to be a dingus. An unapologetic dingus who flexes his bird's flyby feature on me.
You know what? It's all good. You know,
Hey,
people
I
that's-
have chocolate water.
But everyone else won.
I'm gonna immediately turn over to Vivi and be like, so what good is the doll going to do now?
Shut up.
Can you go return the doll now?
After we deal with this.
No,
Return the doll.
Return the doll now, so that guy
In
doesn't.
2 weeks from now.
Yeah, 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now, we're gonna have this
You
argument.
want an innocent doll maker to die, toy maker.
I love the fact that I still
Yeah,
haven't
2
told
weeks,
anyone
yeah,
that this man is oozing magic.
Reminder, that dude is a psychopath. We saw him coming this...
I am having 12 brain blasts right now. I can't say any of them because potential maybe calling the accuracy thing and not wanting to ruin anything if I call it, but oh my god, I'm having thoughts. My brain is working for the first time in like 6 years.
Okay, well you keep those to yourself since you can't say them to us.
I know.
I'm going to immediately turn and. Do you really want this? I'm going to point over to the house.
cinders?
To happen to that doll maker.
You'll return.
I'm going to go to meet Vivi also and be like, or worse, he's going to tell them that you stole them. And then he's going to be after you.
Cool. I want to go and investigate the scene immediately, so guess.
I have a +3
Return the
investigation.
doll.
Ryan, is anything in this room setting off my investigatory bells?
Next time.
Okay.
Okay.
So we end off...
Session's over.
So we end the session looking at this room with
Burnham.
cinder and
Yeah.
shit. And then me and Rex both look at Matthew's character going, your doll stealing didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yup.
I'll end the stream there.